Hello, Wong. Hello, Odd. Getting a lot more moisture than normal for some reason. Maybe I'm sucking too hard. Treating my pipe like a dick. I won't have any kittens with me today. I had to move them. I couldn't handle it any longer. They were shitting all over the damn place and pissing everywhere. I've had kittens before, but I've never had kittens that are this, like, I don't know, like wild. Like they most kittens naturally gravitate to litter. Not these guys. On top of that, like they don't really groom. I don't know what's going on. Like maybe their mother left too soon or something. Like they shit all over themselves and I had to like clean them, which is a major pain in the ass when it's dried. Hello, Mal. Hello, Andy. Oh, I didn't pin it. I put it up, but no pin. Why do they block out your font? I actually love disagreements, like not in like a belligerent way. I just I think that there's more utility in discussing things you disagree with. I'm sure that I have something. It's hard to just bring stuff up out of nowhere. It's usually things kick off usually once we have at least one more panel member. And then naturally we're going to get into some shit. That's just how it happens. Hell, I got into some shit with my mechanic today. It was pretty funny. Agreed. Although Mutual Masturbation Society, that sounds like a good idea. StreamYard is, I will say, they are improving like dramatically. Like there's new features like once a month. So eventually they probably will fix that and make it cross compatible. But at the very least it shows your font, or at least it shows some sort of like cursive looking font on my screen on StreamYard. I need somebody to educate me here lately because I've been so damn tied up with all sorts of shit happening all at once that I am not informed on any current events. I've heard something about voting went massively blue tide to the point that Trump is nervous and very concerned. He's like looking to fucking cheat in any way he can because he can't win at this point. Don't know how true that is, though. think I'm out of juice. Lost a few to the Dems, so some rep lady is going to go for New York because she's pro-Trump and pissed. Oh yeah, New York's a big one because I can't remember his name. He is like hard left, and he destroyed it. Hello, Odd.
G'day, centre left atheist. How are you today?
I can't complain. I just took care of some damn mechanical shit, so I'm feeling a lot better. I was without a vehicle for like 2 days, and I get nervous when I don't have a vehicle.
I can understand with what you've been saying lately. How did your weapons training go? That sounded exciting. What? I don't want to pry too deep, so give us a range, not a definitive. But what age range are your kids? Like teens or younger or young adults?
Roughly mid-teens, but
Oh, cool.
I had to cancel till next week because of the vehicle issue. I couldn't get them, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so next week I may be a little late. It's hard to tell.
Fair enough. That's kind of cool. I took my kid. Well, I didn't take my kid. I've never been before in my life, but my kid wanted to do a gun range, not gun range, like indoor pistol gun range kind of thing, like in the TV shows type thing. So I took him there for his last birthday, and that was pretty freaking cool. I wasn't allowed to go because I've got some issues, but I let the other half go, and the one that shits on me all the time in your live stream. Yeah. So they both had a great time, and the videos looked really good.
So you couldn't go because you've been busted trying to rob banks in the past.
Yeah, something like
that. Fair. Yeah, Mom Donnie is who I was thinking of, but he's a big deal because he is hard left and he is extremely popular right now, which is signaling a massive momentum shift. And I think he's Muslim, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
It's he the New York guy?
Yes.
Mamdani.
Big deal.
Yeah. He's Muslim as well.
And I also, I haven't watched a lot lately, but I just thoroughly enjoy Gavin Newsom playing Trump and his texts or whatever. It is so fucking funny. He just uses all caps and tries to sound like Trump and he trolls them. It's fucking great. Love it. Beating Trump at his own game.
I haven't had the chance to look into him that much yet. I've been meaning to, but yeah, and I know I should have gone by normal standards.
It's all good. We've all got shit going on, and it's not exactly top priority. I mean, it's kind of.
But whenever anyone shits on Trump and stuff, it's sort of,
I do try to keep up on Trump shitting, but yeah, I'm sure there's a lot I've missed lately. I had.
What are those things on your head?
Night vision. They're budget night vision.
I thought you were trying to see my dick.
It allows me to see through the screen directly to your dick.
Jumps the fourth wall. Cool.
50x magnification.
Then all I would see is a pubic hair.
Same thing. Yeah.
Same thing. Love it. Their budget, of course, because I'm not spending $2,000 on some fucking night vision. That's true analog night vision is high tech shit, and it costs a lot to produce them. but they're
the last time I saw something like I was playing a video game.
right.
I think it was when these sneak around in the night games.
It's probably one of those to where you click it and it goes "Rear," like it's like
Yeah,
go charging up or something.
you got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
those
green
are
sort of light. Yeah,
that's the real deal. That's analog night vision. It don't require
Right.
batteries or any. Well, it might require batteries. I don't know, but it's analog and it's much better, honestly.
Tom Clancy game.
Yeah, Splinter Cell uses them a lot.
Absolutely, you got it. Yeah.
Why are you laughing, Gadwin?
I was just gonna say Splinter Cell, and you said Splinter Cell.
Oh yeah, Splinter Cell like that. That's the image on the game itself is like dude with some night vision on.
Yeah, it's like special ops guy. You're like
Yeah.
sneaking in, shooting people.
Good fun.
Nice.
Yep. Yep.
I enjoy that game. Yeah.
Yeah, just wait until somebody turns their gun light on and then they blind the shit out of you.
That is true. That's the downside. The true best is thermal, and I'm not spending that much money, but thermal, you can't run from it.
Oh,
You're
it's
fucked.
amazing. I watched a guy. He was hunting pigs, I think it was hogs, and he turned on his thermal, and you could just see all the white dots of pigs out through the field.
Yep.
Pretty
There's very few
Wow.
things that are a counter to it. Like they make like cloaks, but it doesn't work. If you touch something, your body heat goes through that whatever that is, and it'll still show up.
Well, I did see in Ukraine the guys have like it's kind of like a Kevlar or something, a blanket they can drape over themselves, and it basically masks them from that.
If they're smart about it. And honestly, that's kind of expensive. The cheapest method that I've seen that works is an umbrella because the handle is away from you. And what you do is you kneel down on the ground and put the umbrella outward in front of you and you can't see shit. But it's sort of, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, I've seen police helicopters and people like that use it.
Oh yes. Drones use it a lot
people
too.
People show up white. Is that the one?
Yep.
Yeah, it just
I mean,
pick up the heat.
once the saying is once the helicopter's got you, you may as well just give up.
There's very little recourse. Like if you're in thick woods, and newer drones are so good that they can even navigate not dense but semi-dense brush. They could still get in there and see you.
Right.
Like thermal's dangerous.
Oh, I was thinking though, you should get an attachment for your gun if you want to use it for home defense. It's like a strobe light. You put on your gun, and it basically blinds anybody that you're pointing it at. They can't do shit.
That'd be awesome. So on my pistol, I can't show it because I'm on a live stream. I got a laser/light attachment to it. And the light is 1,000 lumens, which is pretty good. The downside is you have to get rid of your instinct. Your instinct when you have a flashlight, which is basically what it is to use it to try to see. Unless someone breaks your door down and you know that you're going to that person's going to be a someone that shouldn't be here. The instinct is to face it. And you can't just point the muzzle of a firearm at someone's face. It's weird. It's kind of dangerous to have a light, in my opinion.
I see a lot of the special forces, they use, it's like a strobe light. So it sits there and flashes, and it just blinds the shit out of anybody.
I've never thought about that. I bet that works
So
well.
I suppose a downside of that is if they're armed and they're blinded, when they fire, this could go anywhere.
Yeah. Well,
It's better than point blank onto you.
That's what I was about to say. You've got it's not perfect, but you got a far better chance than if you're not blinding them or disorienting them in any way.
I suppose, yeah. That's my kids are standing beside me. Actually, if I had kids, I'd probably shoot them myself.
That's what BB guns are for. Or those airsoft.
I've thought about that.
I miss
I'm thinking about getting my son a 22 LR. They're still dangerous, but it's easy. There's almost no recoil. And the best part is I'm thinking about getting one myself because when you target practice, there's nothing cheaper than 22 ammunition, and it's by a massive margin.
Yeah, I like the 20. That was my favorite gun growing up as a kid. I murdered rabbits with that thing.
Yep. Yep. Well, I wouldn't be killing rabbits, but like even target shooting, it's just perfect for it.
And
I used to
there's no
come home
kick
from
with it.
school. I'd get up on the roof, like I had a roof right outside my window, so I'd climb out the roof and then just sit there. Any rabbit that moved in my yard, just pick them off with the 22.
I couldn't do it. I'd feel bad. It was
Used to
I was
hard.
throw,
12.
I understand. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I couldn't.
we
There's
throw
no way.
cans up in the air and shoot them and with a 2-2. I mean, there's no recoil or anything like that, is there?
Well, that can go
Not
bad
really,
shooting cans
yeah.
out of the air because you don't know where that bullet's coming down at.
Yeah, well, that's one of the issues with 22s is they ricochet quite a bit, and that can. It's not really dangerous, but the
No.
danger to me and why I'm like kind of hovering on the idea of getting my son one is because he's going to get the idea that it's like a toy because it's a low caliber, but it can kill you quite easily, and so I don't know if that's a good idea or not.
I'm just training, isn't it?
I liked
Edu-
bow when I was a kid.
Education as usual.
Well, that's
I felt
mainly
about
why I
that.
want to do the firearm training because my son has a very unhealthy obsession with gangster culture. Like he's gotten in trouble at school twice for looking up firearms on school computers. Like what the hell? But so I'm
Kids.
trying to break that and get him to understand that firearms are not they're not toys and it's not cool to frickin' turn them sideways and act like you're a gangster and shit. So
I know what help. Do that scared straight. Get him to go to a prison and get him to go through there. And
that might work, and I might do that. So that'll definitely cost money, but like I want to
I
try
bet if you
myself
go to a
first.
local prison, be like, "Hey, can you scare the shit out of my son? I don't want him to end up in this place. Have him shackle him up and everything."
They might, I could actually reach out and check, maybe.
Get Big Bubba to talk to him.
But so the thing is he's not that far gone yet. He's not like actually gangster culture. He's just kind of gangster curious, I guess.
Well, then that's a good time to get it then before they actually get into it.
Well, so I agree, but not so far as like locking him up and shit. Like I don't want to like make him think he's being punished just for like his chosen subculture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's the result of most gangsters. They end up in prison, and most of them for life because they do
that's true.
like drive-bys and all this stupid shit.
True. So luckily, I don't think he's into that. He's more into like the non like he likes guns, but I think it's just a show thing for him.
Bit
And
of a
he's just
fantasy thing, is it, perhaps?
kind of he just likes the whole hip hop rap sort of thing. And it's worth noting he lives in an area. His school is predominantly African American. Now that's not necessarily bad, but there's a big gangster element to that, and so he's surrounded by it. And so I'm trying my best to give some to fight that subculture and to like I try not to attack him, but I'm like I don't do no freaking turning gun sideways shit. It defeats the entire purpose of a firearm, and it's not cool. And you don't point weapons at people anyway. That's a crime in and of itself.
Maybe you'll have to start dressing up like a thug and then going around making them like make it uncool.
I might do that. I might do that.
Hanging out.
That's a good idea.
Because there's this guy I watch. His daughter puts all these pictures on social media, and so the dad imitates him. So he'll draw him like tattoos on himself, and then put these little short shirts on his shin to make fun of his daughter.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those.
That's hilarious.
Have you guys been seeing all the AI slop of lately? These it's
Like
like porch
everywhere.
pirate videos. It looks like there are people stealing
Yeah.
packages and then they explode and it turns it like blue powder all over them.
Yeah.
I've been watching the comments. Everybody thinks it's real, and I had to be like, "Yo, this is AI, like shit." Like, and it's
So I use AI like for Google and stuff. I've admitted that, and I do it frequently. But I have recently been looking up. Like I watch YouTube a lot. That's like my TV. I don't watch TV. I don't like
Same.
cable. I don't do that shit. But it pisses me off because lately I want informative videos. Now, I'll be honest, lately it's been survival / firearm stuff. And so, but I look it up and it's all fucking AI slop. And it's like not a real person. And half of the time it's misleading bullshit information. And it pisses me off. Like, we got to do something about it.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
How do
gonna
we
I-
go.
find out that's AI slop? Because I had no idea till you mentioned that just then, Gaz. I noticed the increase, but I hadn't
We
even
were
thought about it.
talking about it
AI
earlier.
slop.
We were talking about earlier. We were saying that even the people who are developing AI are finding it difficult to get stuff off the internet that's useful for them to help develop the AI
Oh yeah.
and get it to
Yeah.
learn.
Wow. That's
Because
even worse.
There's so much crap on the internet now.
Well, everyone's looking at it like there's a lot of people who don't have the personality to be like a content creator. And that's fine. That's just who you are. But they're thinking, hey, I can cash in on this because I don't have to come on screen. I don't have to do nothing. I can get AI to do everything for me and I can put out content.
Yeah, exactly. Because it does
Yeah.
the script, it does the reading, it does the image generation, everything. Because I used to watch Warhammer videos a lot, and now the channels are all becoming like AI. Basically, everything about it's AI.
Hmm.
And it sucks. It's complete shit.
And a lot of it's wrong too.
That was the other part of that we were talking about is that I mentioned it. I don't know how much people would agree or not. Is because of dance crazes on TikTok and so, 5 seconds, get an opinion. Yeah, that sounds feasible. Move on and get the next opinion. And that's stuck in your head now. You haven't looked up or tried to fact check it or anything like that. So, like, critical thinking is going downhill.
Yes.
Oh,
and
yeah.
as
But
you're saying,
then-
this was before AI because
Yeah,
TikTok and X made short form shit to where you're constrained artificially with like information, and context is important, but everyone wants this ultra shortened shit.
They
And
want the
like,
heroin hit.
huh?
They want the heroin hit. They want it
Yes.
now.
Rush.
Yeah, it's a dopamine rush. That's all it is, because we're wired to get dopamine in the
Yeah.
easiest way possible, and it makes sense because we don't want to work
So
if we don't have to.
there's a lot of backlash against AI and stuff. I was saying this earlier on. I don't know how much you would agree with it, but I was saying this earlier on about all the backlash against AI and the slop that it's producing and blah blah blah. But because the critical thinking is going downhill, it's not all the education system. It's critical thinking that's not being taught
I agree.
or learned. Then AI is coming up. So we're going to need AI even more than we do now, which is a kind of a catch-22, isn't it?
It is, and it's very dangerous. I don't think enough people are taking it seriously.
And the amount of people who can't differentiate the real and the fake now. Like, there's so many of these, like, parrot talking to cops, and everybody's like, "Oh, that bird's so smart," and everything. It's like,
exactly.
people.
That goes into exactly what Mal just said. So it started with a sort of like a resentment toward intellectualism, and people started becoming dumber for various reasons. And then them becoming dumber makes it to where they don't have the capacity to understand what's real and what's not, which makes this AI shit churn out even more. And then everybody's clueless, and it's like a cycle, and it's a very negative thing that we have to find a way out of. I don't know what the answer is.
I don't even
calling
think it's an education system thing either. I think it's a whole society thing.
Well,
it's
absolutely.
the older generation.
I was saying
calling
earlier
for
on,
it.
I'm not usually pessimistic about this. I am.
It's the older generation that always told us, "Hey, don't believe everything you see on TV," but now they believe everything they see on Facebook.
Yeah, it's true. So it's a habit of mine now. Unless I'm using a source that I've vetted in the past, and I know, and I'm pretty confident it stayed the same, I always double check anything. Like it's happened to me, and like I've always been hardcore about my sources and stuff, and I've still been tripped up, like I said, about the Trump quote and shit. So now I'm like extra vigilant. Like no matter what it is, I have to double check my sources.
I love
and
using
shit.
that Trump People magazine quote because I know it's fake, but I want to see if anybody actually take it by its word, or if they're actually going to look up and say, "Hey, call me out," but like, "Hey, that's not real."
The thing is, Trops, is you've got you're well capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Most people, nearly all people aren't.
Well, we're
Right.
pessimistic too, so
They,
we
Yeah.
they're not capable of that. They just, to be fair, I got caught with a talking parrot the first couple of times too.
Mhm.
can.
Well, I don't think anyone's completely impervious to it. I think it's like human nature. Plus, you don't want to. We're wired to spend as less energy as possible on a given task, but there's no shortcut currently. Like you have to do your diligence, or there's a pretty good chance in this day and age that you're getting bullshit.
Well, I think my autism helps too, because I can spot a lot of things. Like in one scene, it shows a guy on a porch picking up the package. He seems tall, but by the time he runs to his vehicle, he looks like a fucking midget. Like the size, like there's just things you can catch that some people just wouldn't notice.
That's fair. So I'm pretty observant, but I also have ADHD, and sometimes it'll make it to where it depends on what my brain's doing. If my brain is focused on like, hey, that's fucked up, like they're piece of shit, stealing shit, because that's happened to me. And if my brain's focused on that, I'm not going to notice what you just described.
I would say that if it hadn't been for the fact that I'd gone and decided to get an education and got an education, I would be one of the many.
Mhm.
Well,
I learned how to do research and fact check things and stuff like that. In general ed, you just don't.
But that is more important than any of the other shit, because knowledge itself, we live in an age to where, yes, it's difficult, but we have never had information at our fingertips at the extent we do now. So if you learn the basic fundamentals of how to fact check, how to check your sources, how to know that your information's accurate, you can find out almost anything on the internet.
that's why I like Gemini on Google, because it links all the sources where it pulls its information from on the right side of the screen. So you can go and see all the web pages where it's citing everything from.
I like that. And a lot of people talk shit about this. I like Wikipedia for that fucking reason. Wikipedia isn't as shitty as what people make it is, because they link their sources and you can check those sources against what it claims. And in my experience, it's almost always accurate.
So how about your general population who aren't that way inclined, who have watched this, got an opinion on that? Wouldn't you rather watch a cute Chinese girl doing a TikTok dance in a costume explaining Pythagoras' theorem?
Yes.
Breakdancing.
So I don't look at it from that perspective. I agree, and yes, that's a problem, and that's probably why they get all this misinformation. The only way I could think of is if we, like Neil deGrasse Tyson is a good example. He makes science kind of cool. Like he don't give bullshit, at least not all that often. I've caught him in a couple of bullshit things, but like he presents it in such a way that it's attractive to kids and to people that are like, I don't know, don't think like I do. Like they're not like so analytical that they're like a fucking robot. Like,
yeah, tell that to my missus.
yeah, so that could help a little bit if more people would do something like that and try to change their delivery format, I guess.
We have Brian Cox over here.
People have been pretty much dumb and ignorant for much of human history. I mean, there's very few that were ever educated.
Right.
I mean, and now we're just getting information overload. So we're seeing the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people watch a short video about a topic and then all of a sudden they think they're an expert in that fucking topic.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I have the opposite. Like, I've been studying like fucking survival shit for months and months, and people are like, my neighbor's like, dude, I would love to have you in the woods with me. And I'm like, dude, it's been a couple of fucking months. Like, I'm below a novice. Like, I haven't even.
You're a journeyman.
Yes. And I haven't even employed this stuff in the field. It's one thing to put that shit in your brain. It's another to experience it. I'm not your guy.
Practice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I know that. And I keep that in check. At least I try to.
Just a very simple situation where you're out in the woods and you rub two sticks together to make a fire, and you look around and you go, I got all this in my head and all the sticks are wet. Now what do you do?
And
Oh,
so-
I didn't read that bit.
I've learned this the hard way numerous times, especially with mechanics. So I've learned the hard way that I am not an intuitive mechanic. I'm a retard when it comes to mechanics. If it's even basic shit, like today I installed a fucking deadbolt. To be precise, I replaced a deadbolt, and it's very simple. It's literally all you need is a screwdriver. And I can't even get that shit right. Like, mechanics are not how my brain works.
Yeah, I grew up doing that stuff, having a fence company and a family. I mean, I've been putting nuts and bolts and things like that together most of my life.
And
Engines, I've done a lot of.
that's the primary difference. It's not just how your brain's wired, like it's kind of the way I put it. It's also about first principles, as you always say. It's I don't have the basics because I've never fucked with shit like that in my entire life.
Yeah, I grew up
Business
pretty much
boring,
on
huh?
construction and stuff like that. So I'm very hands
Right.
skilled, basically. Legos. I mean, my grandmother had me on Legos as soon as I was like, could put Legos together and shit like that. That was.
Yep. And all of that links. Like, I think your average person don't link those things. And they're like, dude, you don't know how to do this? And like, I don't care. It's not offensive, but like, I think they don't understand even their own first principles. Like they don't understand how these little things, like starting from childhood, add up to make something like intuitive to them, like snapping a finger.
Which is funny is the Italian woman,
Yeah.
she can't even change a light bulb or change the batteries in her remote. Like, she has no practical skills whatsoever. She's just
And that's an extreme example, but I think it's the same thing. She's never done anything like that. Like,
and she has the anxiety of even trying to do it.
yes, and so I have that too, because I have so many situations in the past of me failing at some sort of mechanical thing. I automatically go like, oh fuck, I better call a professional, because like after it happens over and over again, you start going like, fuck man, I can't do shit.
I fucked up my car a couple times doing shit. Like
my missus downstairs when I'm upstairs, and you can hear her going, grr, 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 and she's pressed the remote about 12 times. Next thing, clunk, because she'd lobbed the remote because the telly won't come on. So there's that.
I always have to tap it on my head. My remote, at some reason, I don't know why, but when it won't work, I just give it a tap on my head a couple times, and then it would work again.
I'm gonna break the illusion for a moment because I need to refuel my lighter.
Uh-oh.
The
You need to
fake
get that
wall.
cleaning robot. Yeah, you need to get that cleaning robot I showed you.
I did see that, so it's probably like I'm very cheap. If I can save a fucking dollar by not having to do it myself, I will. The problem is I have no discipline, and that's something I'm working on lately. Like, I have a plan. Now this is probably going to backfire, and it's going to turn into a funny story. But I was watching my videos, you know, because I get in my phases, and I'm currently in my military/survival phase, and I learned that Delta Force is required to take like a 35 to 40 pound rucksack and go 40 miles on foot through treacherous terrain, sometimes in really terrible weather. And they don't know they're being timed, but they have 2 hours to complete it. And I thought, hey, if they can fucking do that, I'm in not great shape, but not terrible shape. I should be able to do that to work, which is 10 miles. And I plan on doing that soon. That's probably going to turn out to be a horror story, but
You're going to video that for a laugh.
I will. I plan on bringing my little camera with me, and like
Nice.
periodically, I won't have it the entire way because I don't even know if the battery will last that long, but
Yeah.
I'll do periodic little videos along the way. So my endurance is, I guarantee I'm going to be in rough shape and like really soon. But if they can do 40 miles, I can do 10 miles without a rucksack, without weight.
40 sounds like a lot. I mean, you sure it's not like 8 miles or something?
It's 40 miles, I promise. Now, it is worth noting they're elite. They're like fucking
Oh yeah, Delta Force is the top. That's the
Yes.
you don't ever hear their things they do.
yeah.
They're-
Well, that's the thing. We consider SEAL Team 6 number one, but that's because we can learn about their shit.
Mhm.
Delta Force is a whole different level. You can't
That's
even
all
find
black
out
ops.
any. Yeah, you can't even find out any of their ops or shit. Like it's all secret.
Yep, they're the most secret of the secret. And that's the best operators there is. They come from
Yep.
like the Rangers, Green Berets, SEAls,
Yep.
the
They're
best
the
of the best.
best of the best. And so I keep that in mind. But 1/4 of what they do, and I'm not dealing with rough terrain. This is all going to be pavement. Now, that's going to be some uphill and downhill, and I have to deal with an urban environment, not getting hit
Well,
by cars and shit. But that's not
Pavement
that bad.
actually is hard on the feet. So like working construction, like when I walked on lawn all day, it's soft. It doesn't make your feet hurt. But if you're standing on asphalt or concrete all day, your feet are gonna fucking scream at the end of the day.
That is true. I've thought I might actually do a bicycle the first time, just as a test, and then try it.
If you're going to try and run that, by the time you get back, you'll have feet like a camel.
Oh no, I'm not gonna run it. No, either way. Like I've got to actually work because I plan on doing this to work. Now my work
You're
is
going to
not
work as well.
it's not that physical, but it's a physical job. It's like, I'm gonna be hunching over and
It's
doing my
what, 10
thing.
miles, you said?
Yeah, 10
I
miles.
used to run 10 miles. I would think nothing of it. It depends on, I was younger in them days, obviously.
Right.
But, I'm a lot fitter. I was athletic type. I used to run over 10 miles over the hills through heather and stuff, play with my mates for an hour or so. At about
That's
16, 17.
That's
run
pretty
back into that.
impressive, though. That's pretty impressive. Like that might not be nothing to you, but to most people, I don't think your average person's doing that. Like,
Probably not. No, they weren't. No, I was
So-
Especially nowadays, kids aren't even like. I seen this thing about kids don't even know how to ride bikes anymore. Like it's just a skill that's going out of style. Like,
electric scooters now, isn't it?
well, not even really that. Everybody has a car, pretty much. So
Mhm.
they just get escorted around wherever they want to go. Like when I was a kid, I got home, I got on my bike, I rode to my friend's house. We went all over the place, and then I'd ride home. Like that's all I did was ride bike.
I ran. It was my kind of like an escape from the world. I just ran everywhere.
Well, and you're
Miles
left
and
alone with your
miles.
mind. You get
That
to
is
think.
awesome for endurance. And for me, it's a twofer. One, I've got to find a way to deal with I have an aversion to shit I don't want to do to a point that's worse than most people. Like I can't make myself do shit that I don't want to do. And that becomes a massive problem. Like I'll just distract all the fucking time. I'll like watch YouTube videos constantly. I'll go play a video game for way too long. Like I need a way to build discipline, and I need some suck. I need some suck in my life.
We didn't have internet stuff, so we lived in the country. So
Right.
If you wanted to get somewhere, you either had a bike, which we couldn't afford, or you walked. If you want to get there quick, you ran.
I see it as a positive thing. In some ways, I wish I was brought up in a different generation because I guarantee you I wouldn't be the same person.
I was fit as a flea in them days. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Run all day, and I could eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
And an hour and a half
Well,
later, I could do it
calories.
again.
I mean, again, that comes down to like we were talking the other time about calories in, calories burned. I mean, that's.
And a lot of people like to make it ultra complicated. And don't get me wrong, because yes, there are certain things that changes the exact science a little bit from person to person. But when it all boils down, it's calories in, calories out. It really is that simple. And I don't know why people turn it into rocket science.
Well, it's because they're obese people and they want to justify them being obese.
Right. And it gets people offended. And it's important that, like, at least from my perspective, I can't speak for everyone. My intent is not to be a douchebag. That's not me. My intent is not to fucking offend people, but I think it's necessary to some extent, not to offend people, but to just call shit what it is.
Hold on, Buzzer.
Exactly.
Hold on.
Odyssey, your mic's unmuted.
Yeah, it's all good. Hold on, you'll see why.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's my kitty.
Stroking
That's
his
a
pussy.
cutie.
Yeah, she's old.
She's a
Oh,
cutie.
it's hard to get her to the camera the way up. There we go.
She's
It's
got
hard
blue
to get her
eyes
to the
too.
camera.
Looks almost like a
Oh,
calico.
She's pretty cool.
It's like a
She's
reverse
one that sleeps
calico.
in my bed each night beside me. So yeah, I have no idea. We just got her as random, you know. But yeah, she's pretty cool. We've had her for frickin' ages.
I go back and forth when it
All the
comes to
time, so I
cats.
figured I'd show. Yeah, I'm a cat lover, and we just had a dog pass, so I like them both. We had a golden retriever, and she was cool, but she was dumb. But she was awesome, family-friendly dumb, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, that's
I like both.
specific. I like both too, but I won't lie. I do have a preference, and cats are my preference.
The only downside I find with cats is litter boxes. I just cannot stand the litter box.
That's what I'm dealing. Well, the litter box don't bother me. It's when they don't use the litter box that pisses me off. Like, Jesus Christ, these kittens, I've never dealt with kittens like this before. They, like, normally it's instinctive. Even if it's not instinctive to use a litter box, they will at least pick one area away from their food and water, away from where they usually hang out. These kittens, they're like special needs cats. They like shit on themselves. Like, do you know how hard it is to clean dried shit off of fur? Like, it's extremely difficult, and like they're shitting and pissing everywhere. I had to move them to another room.
An Angora, and it would have dinkleberries all the time. I'd have to go. She got good at taking baths. Actually, she'd let me put her in the bath and clean her up and everything because her dinkleberries are horrible.
That's what I keep getting with these, and they are young, but in my experience, even at like 5 weeks, it's usually intuitive for them to stay clean, to not shit all over themselves. Like I don't attack them or anything because it's not their fault, but it's like amazing to me. I've never seen this level of like, I don't know what to call it.
Bad genetics.
I guess, like, what the hell? It's crazy. I haven't even been reading chat.
It's Austin on a tangent about we don't know shit about Delta Force.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those conversations. It's like when you talk firearms, and like you're like, man, I'm all about some 9mm, and then there's always one dude that's like, 9mm for pussies. You can't do shit with a 9mm, even though 9mm is like the most popular round ever, even for law enforcement, even for military.
When I was with my one coworker, we stopped at a gun store the one day, and they have ARs that take 9mm or 45. I think it's 9mm.
I've seen that, and it's really awesome for cost savings because 5.56 is about double the price, even for cheap ammunition, of 9mm.
Yep, and that's what he was saying about just the cost savings on ammo. If you just want to target shoot and shit like that, I mean.
In my opinion, if you're looking to save money and you have an AR, I would just go to the lowest of the low. If you want to save money and get a 22, you can get a conversion kit, but I looked into it and it's really dumb. There's this conversion kit.
My coworker had the 22 and the 5.56, so we'd shoot both of those of AR style.
Of AR, like he had a
22 caliber AR-15.
Okay, so what I'm talking about is it doesn't change the upper. What it does is it's like a little kit that converts it. And what I don't understand is the kit costs $400. You can buy a fucking dedicated 22 LR rifle that's far more accurate and designed for it for $400. Why would you even buy that damn conversion kit?
Yeah, that's what he had. He had just an actual AR that was designed 22 on.
Oh, okay. That's far better in my opinion. Like,
I mean, it doesn't blow your eardrums out. You're not, going down shooting a damn thing.
Right.
Or you could just move to the UK and stab somebody.
Oh, if I was in the UK, I'd be William Wallace walking around with a fucking sword on my back.
I have a sword, and I would do that too. That would be that's how I would handle that situation. But in the United States, it's kind of useless. Like, we have guns every damn where.
Of course, yeah.
Which I always thought was funny is the Second Amendment says you have the right to bear arms. It does not specify guns in any way. Anything is an armament that you arm yourself with. So a baseball bat, a sword, a gun, like that is all armaments. It's
true, but you can flip that on its head and go bear arms, generic, as in it's a catch-all. It includes everything. And then you could say, therefore, we should be able to have tanks.
we can't have fully automatic weapons. I mean,
Oh, I know, and I agree with that, by the way. But like, I'm just saying, you can flip that logic on its head and still use it, because the entire point is that it's so generic and vague.
Bring on the zombies!
Honestly, does that say made in Pakistan on it?
Oh yeah, definitely Chinese, my friend, definitely.
Everything I buy is usually made in China. I won't lie.
Well,
when I bought this, I got 2 wooden ones. This is like 120 odd Australian.
Well, that's a
crappy
ninja
trinket.
katana there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Ninjato.
The square. Yeah, it's the square.
Yeah. I got 2 wooden ones for $10 at the same time, and they are fucking excellent to spar with. They are much better than a broomstick. Like, you can really have, drunken swordplay fights with your mates, brother. It's excellent.
Which country it is, but I watch them. They dress up in full knight armor, and then they have blunted weapons like maces, axes, swords, and then they just go at it with it each other and just beat the shit out of
They do that here.
They do it
Laughing
here.
or something, I think it's called. Or
No,
real life role playing.
It's called HEMA, I believe, and it's I could be saying it wrong, but it's like actual full contact. There's nothing fake about it. They're wearing armor. They're actually attacking each other with real weapons.
well, blunted weapons, but
yes, that's true. If it's a blade, which isn't even, I don't recommend it. It's a finesse weapon, and you don't use it against armor. It would be pointless.
Yeah, you want a hammer, like like at the high medieval ages, armor got so good, like it was almost impossible to take down a knight. Like they were almost impenetrable. That's why they had hammers and picks, basically.
English archers did it.
Crossbows. Most
No,
arrows
archers, proper longbows.
Well, even longbows did some serious damage.
They would hit the target all day at 250 yards. They trained from when they were kids. They looked like hermit crabs because their arm was so powerful. You couldn't pull these bows back. These were like 150 pound bows.
Oh no, they're more than that.
Damn.
The common war bow is like 200 pound.
Yeah, mental. I could imagine 5,000 bowmen all firing something like 12, 15 arrows a minute.
Oh yeah, the volley, each volley.
It just wrecked the place.
Oh yeah. Until gunpowder.
At 200 yards, they'd ask you, do you want me to put it through his visor, or they were that good. They trained all their lives for it.
I really like the idea of
my compound bow, man. Not that good, but I'm pretty good with my compound bow.
See, every time I get on here, I'm about to spend more money. Now I want a bow.
Yeah, I like
they're kind of cool.
They're
silent too. And
my younger brother
you can't really trace them like, they do with, well, I'm sure they probably could, but you need specialists to do it compared to bullet specialists that you guys have over there.
Well, there's a lot of there's a lot of bullshit involved in bullet forensics. Like the claim is you can take, like, for example, a 9mm bullet is fired from a 9mm handgun, and they can trace that bullet to a specific gun. That's not true. We do not have that capability.
No.
What they can do is they can tell that it came from a 9mm and it's a 9mm round, and they can narrow it down to a certain extent, but it is not like CSI shows. That is complete bullshit.
That's why I said I've seen all 20 of them, brother. I was fucking around from the start, mate. But yeah, I get you.
Like
not like a CSI on the telly.
Yeah, that's all bullshit.
Exactly. Man.
Yeah, it is. They do have some pretty good capabilities.
On the same level.
Yeah. They actually have to get the weapon that they think was fired, and then they have a chamber that they shoot the bullet into, and then they match them up to see if the bullet they extracted is the same as the one they just fired out.
Yes, but even then, it won't be perfect. It's like you could have other firearms and fire that same through it, and it'll match up very close or almost exactly. Like, it's not a what I'm trying to defeat, like the whole narrative that I'm trying to defeat, is that it's like a fingerprint. That's not true. That's bullshit.
Yeah, nah.
Yep.
Agree.
Which even the hair follicle thing, there's a guy who was on death row. They convicted him that he was a murderer and all this stuff. Here to find out, when they actually tested the DNA of the hair, it was dog hair, not his hair.
What the hell? So even DNA like hair shit is not.
Well, they
accurate?
didn't DNA. They
Oh,
did
fuck yeah.
follicle
Wait.
forensic, where they take a hair and put it under a microscope.
Cross-contamination and stuff like that.
So the dog did it?
No, it's just they got dog hair from the crime scene, and
It was a butler dog.
The color matched a guy that they thought was a suspect, and so therefore that automatically made him guilty. They put the FBI put over 500 people on death row, which were executed that were actually innocent.
Wow.
That's the
fun.
problem with the death penalty, isn't it?
Yep. That's why I'm pro death penalty if you have 100% proof they did. Like all these mass shooters.
I'm anti.
I think it depends on the
I
crime.
disagree.
It depends on the crime.
Yeah,
But
there is a small percentage where it's basically definitive. This person definitely did it, and I don't have a problem with that very small percentage. Apart from that, you know, like the ones that are way beyond any feasible means of rehabilitation.
Yeah, like psychopaths.
You know, like,
well, we also
they will only make worse people even worse if they're put in jails.
That's true.
So that's why I am more inclined to just go, fuck it.
So
them. But that's like a very, very, very small percentage. Apart from that,
I know Mal's very against
am
it.
all on the rehabilitation side.
If you think it's going to make them worse by putting them in jail, or it's going to be worse if you put them in there, who cares? They're in jail.
Yeah, but so
we're trying to rehabilitate even, you know, a lot of those guys. Sorry
to me, I think it's fine. You're good.
You think you're being inhumane by keeping
and I
them
agree,
alive?
Maxie, with what you're saying. But the thing is there a long enough time frame to do it in?
I disagree.
In an acceptable time frame.
Cannot rehabilitate anyone.
People.
No, you can't.
You can't rehabilitate a
anyone.
Psychopath.
Whoa, that's a full-on statement, though. There, CLA. That's an extreme step to the other side.
I don't think it's extreme to say that some. I didn't say
you
all.
Can't rehabilitate.
Some people.
You did. You said you can't rehabilitate anyone. That's why
not what I said.
Whoa.
No. We can rewind. I did not say that. I said that some people cannot be rehabilitated, and I stand by it.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, no.
Jeffrey Dahmer,
absolutely agree.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer was eating people. You think that guy could be really rehabilitated?
No, and this is why I mean I've got that small percentage. Just fucking, this is capital punishment.
What's wrong with being a psychopath? So I think where we need to go if we're having this discussion is we need to talk about the crimes, because we can't just have a blanket like, well, everything's good, because that's where therein is the problem. Like, where is the point where, like, it sounds like Mal might think that no matter what, people shouldn't die. But I believe that certain offenses are so bad from a utilitarian perspective, and the possibility they may repeat in the future.
From a human perspective, I agree. Yeah,
right.
There's definitely we are a species, and we have to acknowledge that and deal with that, you know, input that into the data.
There's a kid down the road from us. Whenever I was in high school, he woke up one day, decided to kill his whole family. He woke up, shot his 3 sisters, his mom and dad, killed them all, and then got in the car and drove away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he's going to get back put out in public again. He's almost up to his 20-year sentence.
See, therein lies a problem. That's not. So you would rather bump him off because he killed everybody. Or give him 20 years and he gets out. Or just keep him out of society altogether. Costs money. Is that the problem?
Yeah, but it does become. I'm not huge on money. I'm always about like, hey, if I have to pay more taxes so poor people can get food, I'm all about it. But this is a little different. So, one, I do not believe a life is a life and that a life is precious. I don't believe that. I think that life is not something that's like guaranteed. It's not a right. And so if you murder people, for example, and it's not just any murder, it gets complicated, but let's say you murdered someone for no fucking good reason. You just decided one day that, hey, this will be fun. That person does not deserve to have their life preserved. Why would you spend money on them? Like, I don't understand why that's important. Like, why would you even care?
what makes us better than them just because they might have murdered somebody, killed somebody, raped somebody, whatever, robbed banks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just don't get what makes us so much better than them. Why should I take? Why am I allowed to take the moral high ground and say you don't deserve to live, but I do?
I understand. So this is my answer. Other people have different answers. This is highly subjective, but my answer is morality. Morality is the linchpin that determines whether or not you have a right to live, whether or not other people think that you're a net negative to society, etc. And there's many things that people would consider me a net negative just because I'm weird. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people that murder people for no reason.
That's a matter of scale.
Like
it's
Mal,
yeah.
I'd hope you never go to war, Mal, because the other guy ain't gonna think twice about shooting you, but you're gonna think twice about shooting him.
No. War's got nothing to do with it. No, you dodge in now. War's got nothing to do with that.
War is all about murder. That's what you're doing, is killing the other side.
We were talking about people who are murdered and can't work in society, etc., because they're a net negative. Are your soldiers a net negative to your society or a positive? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Depends
what
on
I'm saying is, because they're a net negative to society,
I think it depends on
society.
It depends on the individual. Like, you can't broadly brush all soldiers with one stroke.
Of course not. No.
But like, for me, it all, like, to me, it's baked in. Maybe I don't go into detail because it's about brevity and other people want to talk, but like, it's kind of baked in what I'm saying. It's automatically implicit that I do not believe that these people can be rehabilitated within reason. And usually with psychopaths and sociopaths, the data kind of rings that true. And it's also worth noting when people say everyone can be rehabilitated, the question is, are they? So some people are experts at being like con artists, basically, and like playing a role.
Very manipulative.
Yes. And so you have to factor that in as well. It's complicated. I think we can all agree that it's complicated.
Well, like,
it's
Charles
not simple.
Manson would be a good example of that. He's very manipulated. He manipulated girls into carrying out his murders, and he's still in prison for it.
Mm-hmm.
Did he die of natural causes?
It's complicated.
So Maxie says your belief isn't good enough reason to murder people. So it's not my belief. I operate under utilitarianism, which is measurable. So if this person creates a net negative for society, which is measurable, then they are not good. And that you could say that in a way, in some ways that's subjective, in some ways that's objective. It's objective because it's measurable. So you can say
defends incest and stuff like that too. So she's kind of fucked with her morals.
That's valid. That's a separate topic, but I guess it makes sense that you're explaining like an issue with judgment, I guess. But like, it seems like maybe like Max, if you would come up, I would love to understand your moral structure, because it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how your morals operate.
Oh, Max, I've watched you many times try to justify incest and pedophilia and shit like that. Like, you give really cringy shit in the chat.
Well, hold on. My false idea that some people can't be rehabilitated, that's a fact. We have statistics to show that some people, despite all measures, have not been rehabilitated. Now, you can claim, oh, they didn't try hard enough, but that's not measurable. You could always say, oh, they didn't do this. Oh, they didn't do that. But based on the current, like everything we have, it's just not true.
That's the scale again, isn't it? So what happens when the scale changes? We have a certain scale now that is measurable, that they are a net negative to society. And a while back, so were witches.
So that one's more subjective, because witches I say more subjective because it's not only subjective, but with witches it's purely subjective because it's based on societal beliefs. When I'm talking about them like murderers, that is measurable, that is tangible. That's not based on people's like for example, like witches will cast hexes on your children and stuff, you know, like that's based on bullshit. So it's different and it's different in that way.
Yeah, perhaps I'll come up with a better analogy than that. It was a bit of a knee-jerk one.
So I do have a habit of focusing on analogies, and I'll go, that's not analogous. So sometimes, and maybe this is me being like hardcore autistic, sometimes I won't get your point because I'm focused on the analogy. So if you had a broader point, like try again, and I'll try my best to not focus on the analogy.
Yeah, I still can't see why. It's just too much of a scale. The scales change too often. Some people, who was it? Was it Stalin or Pol Pot? People were a negative to that society because they wore glasses and looked intelligent. So
that was the Pol Pot of Cambodia.
So I can completely agree with what you're stating. And I don't think I'm doing what I was talking about, but like literally the entire purpose of this is to use it as an analogy to what we were talking about, which is people murdering people for no good reason. They're not like, I don't think you can find an appropriate analogy to make that point, because it's not this societal, it's not based on beliefs that shift constantly. It's, hey, murdering people for no reason is bad. And that's been the case since the dawn of time. Like, I don't think you can make the case that it shifts. It doesn't, not in this case.
Like the first sin, possibly, like Cain and Abel. Cain killed his brother Abel.
Yes. Well, I wouldn't call it a sin because I don't believe in it, but it's a valid point. But like the deal is, if we're talking about something that's far more subjective, I'll agree with you completely. I don't think that, like, I don't like religious people in general. That don't apply to all religious people, but I don't let my personal subjective bias go like, hey, we should make it to where if religious people do one small crime, they get killed. I wouldn't do that. Like I try my best to make everything objective and measurable. And when I do that with like homicidal people that do so for no valid reason, you're going to have a hard time explaining to me why that's wrong, because I don't think it is.
Yeah. I think we disagreed on that before, and I will continue to do so.
That's fine, but perfectly cool. It's just, how do we
practice a different, I live in a different kind of society, grew up in a different social structures, that kind of thing.
That is true.
It may make a difference. I don't know. No, I'm trying to make an appeasement.
I'm sure. So I like to think that I'm purely objective, but that's not true. Yeah. My society does have an effect. Everyone is biased necessarily by their environment, by their history, by everything. So I admit that. And yes, I'm sure that does play some role.
And the same with me. Yeah, for sure.
Yes,
you're after the post-war, well, World War II generation, which it was very peaceful. I mean, other than the Cold War bullshit.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. There are things like in a Western society, looking at communist Russia, like they're a negative.
So I don't do that's more of, a lot of that is again, that's sort of a zeitgeist. That's like there has been years and decades of propaganda thrown against the concept of communism. So it's to a point where you can't even say the word without people completely going a different direction from what it actually means.
Mm-hmm.
So socialism,
murdering people for no reason isn't the same. Yeah.
So what about getting rid of people who provide no utility? So people who don't provide utilitarianism doesn't mean killing people who don't provide utility. It means that you're gauging with any observable, like objective measurements, whether or not certain things are a net positive or a net negative. So people not providing utility is not a negative. It's a neutral. They don't provide any positive. Yep. So it still doesn't defeat my purpose or my point. At least I don't think it does.
Trader skill that's positive, but if you're detrimental to society, you bring it down, do horrible things, then you're bad. I mean,
yes, that's negative. And what you're describing is just neutral. It's like, They're not doing anything wrong. They're just not doing anything, and not for society anyway.
But if they do something wrong and you exclude them from society because they can't behave in a societal manner, then they're now not capable of doing anything wrong anymore.
So you're bringing up a valid point, and this doesn't go against what I'm saying. It's a completely different topic. So in my view, what this is the system is flawed, and it creates this situation to where people are like, they basically have no chance. And I agree with that. And also the way our prison system works, we imprison more people than any other fucking country, and we fuck them up, and like that we ruin their ability to like operate in society. So a lot of times they'll get out of prison after 10 years and they'll get put back in prison on purpose because they don't even know how to live anymore.
Yes,
and
that's true.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So so that goes into the, how do we put it? The punishment aspect of how do we deal with the problem? And that I don't have an answer for. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
Rash is being combative.
I know I'm ignoring him. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do drama shit. I'm above that.
I do a lot. I like it, but I don't want him to be combative. We're all mates.
Yeah.
I
don't get it.
I
haven't got the restraint that some of the others have got.
Well, the thing is,
come get some of this.
Well, from his perspective, I believe that he took it as a personal attack, even though it was just a disagreement. And in the end,
it was months ago.
I know, but either way, it's kind of normal. But by the way, I will happily show the entire thing to anyone, and I will go ahead and say right now, 75+%, 75+% of all people would, I guarantee you, would agree that I did not lose that argument. In fact, you did.
I do apologize for talking over you. I tried to read something of it, but got lost halfway. But it doesn't even matter. Fuck, mate. It was months ago.
That's true as well.
Years and years and years. Right. We'll just fucking disregard whatever, and we'll go from wherever you feel like. Jump back to the fold, explain your thing in your way again. We'll figure out the fucking the disconnect. It's not a thing to fucking hate over. Surely. My mic's about to die. Hold on. There.
Maxie, I would assume that they would be on the neutral button.
Yeah.
Who would be on the neutral?
Paraplegics.
Testing.
People who are paralyzed and require state-funded assistance.
There's no atheist morality claim, Rash.
Yeah,
I should be arguing. Come back as a friend for a fucking episode or two.
I've tried my best.
Disconnect, brother. We want to.
So this is why I don't think that I went too far or anything, but I will admit I was getting frustrated because I was trying to get him to understand that his belief, his structure that puts atheists into this group of people that have a shared code of ethics and way of thinking. It's not true. It's not the same as
before you have to explain yourself, brother. We need a relaxed Rash so that he'll hear rationally.
That's
true.
There's
a less combative Rash here. And
that is true.
To be combative at the moment. We were all friends and have no reason to be not friends. Who gives a fuck about the opposing religions or freaking opinions? That's why we're here, because we like talking about it.
I agree with you entirely.
And Rash knows this, sir.
Yes. So just to go back for a moment, the reason why I said what I just said is I'm talking. You're fine. That was actually a really good point. So the entire point here is I'm talking on a generalized level. The problem why I have this sort of argument and how people. It's not about Rash. It's about people in general and how they view atheism through a lens as if they want to make it comparable to religion, and it can't be because it's not a belief system. The only thing atheists share in common is the lack of belief in a deity or deities. That's it. Nothing else. You can't lump them together. It just don't work.
Which Rash is 99% atheist. It's just he holds on to one god that we just don't. Like we don't believe in any gods. Zeus, Thor, none of them.
Right.
You either believe in them all or none.
Yeah.
Because they all have the same properties.
Yep.
And if you don't believe in somebody else's God, you don't believe in your own. That's it.
Rash,
Simple.
get
All
your
right.
fucking butt back on Discord too. Sorry, did not mean to talk over your mouth. There's a tech.
No, apologies for me butting
Fine.
in, but sometimes it pisses me off. And every now
Yeah,
and again,
fair enough.
even I go, fuck this.
I mean, we're human, and I've always said that's why I'm very lax. Like people fuck up, but I can tell the difference between like people like getting emotional, or it's normal, and like talking over someone because they're very passionate about a topic. I do it, but like that's fine. And you can tell the difference between that and someone who wants to use that lax nature like against you on purpose, like people that are just here to start shit.
Jamie.
That's who I was thinking of, but I didn't say it. I didn't want to mention a name, but eventually I ended up muting him because I gave him like 500 fucking chances, and the only time he ever commented was to start shit.
Yep.
Same shit with me, man. But Mal, I don't mean to pinpoint you here, Mal, but because you're also, I'm assuming, on the same island as Jamie, you guys seem to get along. And we've had a conversation about him, and yeah, I get fucking picked on by Jamie. It's great. So, yeah. So apologies also to you, Mal, for me mimicking the accent from over there, because that's just Jamie shit's.
So I've got a pee, so I'll be back in a moment. But before I go, I want to answer Maxie here. I want T-Robs to answer my question about highly disabled people. I already did. That is neutral. It's not negative. It's not harming people. That's you don't like. I don't understand why did I not cover this? Like, to me, I answered that already.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I said it was neutral as well.
Yeah, but anyway, I'll be right back. Please don't pull your junk out or do anything that's going to get me shut down.
Woo, helicopter!
You wouldn't see mine anyway. I think it's ingrowing.
Like an
We call it the whippersnipper over here, not the helicopter. I actually applied to do puppetry of the penis. It's $150. Yeah, $150 per stage appearance, which lasts 15 minutes.
When I was
so $150 for 15 minutes work is pretty cool. You fit 4 of them in a night, apparently.
I seen a show, but I laughed my ass off so hard. I was like 16 or 17. We had HBO, and there used to be it was called Real Sex. You know, go around exploring the different ventures of sex and stuff like that going on in the world. And it came up penis puppeteer. I was just like, what the fuck? Goddamn Loch Ness monster, cheeseburger, shit like that. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Maxie, that was my point.
Rash, you missed out on freaking a tangerine. Fucking grasser coming here. A full-blown fucking Christian abiogenesis trying to prove his non-fucking proven point. You would have had a ball. Yeah, because you were also of his mentality of thinking, but with the different concept. It would have been great. I really smudged into him, though. I scared him off, I believe.
Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are all the same thing, basically, just different versions for different cultures.
Yeah, apologies, Matthew. I didn't mean to hijack your point.
How isn't it neutral to keep someone in prison instead of murdering them? Because you are directly influencing other people because their taxpayer dollars are paying for that. And also the point that I made before is you have a presupposition, and that presupposition is that all life is precious. We don't all agree with that. I believe that we are wired to measure things like in terms of morality or worth for a reason, because we don't have infinite empathy. You can't. It's not possible to have infinite empathy. So you place empathy on people who deserve it. That's my response. I mean, you can disagree with me.
Maxie seems like the type who would defend Mao Zedong or, Pol Pot.
I like the
They
fucker.
can be
She
rehabilitated.
does fucking bullshit. Mate, it's because of her that she made me inquire deeper, and she's dead right. Incest doesn't break no morality rules. It's just a genetic fucking problem. Whether you like it or not, stiff shit. The same thing with how
It's
many
socially
people have been
taboo. It's
told,
just-
don't put your fucking elbows on the table. But I bet you not one of them can tell you why. This
Yeah,
is
I
like
was
weird
raised not to put
fucking
elbows
morality
on
shit.
people.
Yeah, why? Like,
'Cause your elbows would be
concisely and in depth, why?
Dirty elbows. Keep your dirty elbows off the table.
I completely agree.
Antacid because I'm all about the bass. About the bass.
By the way,
Like,
I've
don't
always agreed with the incest claim. In fact, I've been shunned by people numerous times for that exact argument, that it doesn't breach any moral issues.
Oh,
It's
Not the
just
slightest.
Actually,
Taboo.
Yeah, not the
found somebody
slightest.
who agrees with
Absolutely
me.
agreeing, dude. Sorry for butting in, but I'm agreeing. It's an agreeing button. Like
Yeah,
applause, but louder.
Look at the Habsburgs of the British family, or like all the
Now,
dynasties of Egypt. How that's why we have cleft palates, cleft lip, cleft foot, like all
It's
these genetic
genetical
mutations.
problem, though.
So
not
here-
a
Yes.
moral
Created
problem.
those.
here's my
So-
argument against that. Contraception.
Rock on.
That's it.
Continue.
No
So-
more cleft palates, funny chins, weird shaped head. No, contraception.
that's true, and that's a
No
valid.
pregnancy, no problem.
So you can make the case, as he did, that the issue is it makes it far more likely that there's going to be mutations and offspring and stuff, which is true. But that's not an attack on incest in general. That's an attack on incest plus offspring. So get rid of the offspring, and there's no moral issue
I see
whatsoever.
no problem. Yeah, none.
Which inbreeding would be like the blue people of I think it was Georgia. They had a blue mutation, so then they recluded up into the woods, and then they came inbreeding. They were marrying family members, and then everybody was coming out blue because they all carried that same genetic marker, which would match up whenever you have two people of the same family.
That sounds
So
funny to
feel
me.
free to dip into your mother and feel free to kiss her on the lips good night.
I personally find it disgusting, but it's whatever. But like, there's
So-
a guy here who was molesting his daughter,
Consenting
for years,
adults.
and now they have a child. He raped his daughter.
Consenting
repeatedly
adults,
for
what's that
years.
going to do with anybody else?
So I think it's worth noting, like from my perspective, because I had a different argument. I agree with you that it's disgusting, but it's subjective and it doesn't harm anyone else so long as they don't have offspring. So I'm separating my personal belief from whether or not it causes any sort of
I'm
utilitarian
just
problem.
you Trobs.
Okay.
I just don't go in chat defending it all the time like Maxie does. Like, she talks about screwing her brother and shit.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Like I wouldn't turn it into like this thing that I'm like fighting for a cause or anything, but
Well, some people are horny. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's a
No,
weird.
I have no
I
problem
understand
with
that.
consenting adults. If there's no harm done psychologically to them or the people around them, and there's no offspring, get on with it.
right.
Fine. It's not for me, but if it's for them, what's that got to do with me?
Yeah, well,
Nothing.
I see most social things in that light. Like the right-wing people that are so obsessed with gay people or trans people. Why the fuck do you care? It does not affect you at all. It does not affect society at all.
I can't understand the blokes who hate the gay people. The more gay guys there are, the more ladies are left for me.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Old
Good
Corn
on you
Dog Mao
guys.
here. He's out dogging every night, probably. Which I do. I find it so funny. Like, dogging is a strictly like UK thing where it's like women just go out, hang their ass out of a car, and let men just have at her.
What the fuck?
Next time you're searching, Trobs, look up dogging. It's
Dude,
hilarious.
I don't know if I can handle this. What in the fuck? That's a thing?
Yeah, it's called dogging.
It's funny.
Then again, we started fucking, what's that called where they shake their ass up and down?
Twerking.
Twerking. So that's pretty stupid
Oh,
too. So that's fair.
Stupid. Yeah.
They're
I mean-
both stupid to me. Like, what the fuck?
Europe
People-
goes really crazy. Like Europe
People with
will
like
literally-
a 20-ton ass shaking it in front of my face. They shit out of that. What do you think that's sexy? Get it out of my face. That does have food.
You don't like the third cutter?
I like asses, but only if they're masculine asses.
A well-toned.
Well-toned, muscular ass. Sometimes I can get fooled if it's like one of those freaking gym girls and it looks like a dude ass, and I'm like, damn, baby. I'll like smack it, and then they turn around. I'm like, ugh, you got a fucking
watch.
vagina.
That butthole will cut your penis right off.
Yeah, it's like I never understood that twerking thing. My dog does it because he's got no tail.
My dog has no nose.
It doesn't turn me on. You know what I mean?
I don't understand it. It's a, but
I
then
don't
again, it's pretty common for guys to think asses in general are attractive. I don't have that. Like, I don't look at asses at all. It's not attractive to me. I don't
Gross.
understand.
I like tits.
I don't think
Nice
it's
curvy
gross,
tits.
but it's just, it's not sexy. It's like, I don't look at an ass and get turned on.
Male ass is gross to me, man. I apologize. This is not my thing. But the alternative female ass is insanely not gross. So
Trobs has a
how does that
reverse baby
freaking
cup
work
act.
on a chemical level?
He wants it flat.
Well, so the problem here is I'm going into troll mode and then I'm going into serious mode. So serious mode, I do not find asses attractive, period, regardless of sex. I don't understand why we're wired. Well, some of us are wired to be attracted.
It changes.
Why?
It used to be ankles.
What the hell?
Oh,
So hold on. So it's not nurture. It's not genetic predisposition
Oh, no.
toward perceived like
No.
weird.
In Victorian times, a well-turned ankle used to make the guys blush. Yeah.
Interesting.
In polite society, as they say. What about the Rubens paintings of naked ladies? And then you've got the Twiggy version of models in the 90s, were like sticks, whereas the Rubens ones were very bell-shaped.
Did you ever
And
see
that
that
was,
culture?
it changes,
where-
doesn't it?
There's a tribe where their women were supposed to be so beautiful that the other tribes kept stealing all their women. So they started putting big old lip rings and then nose ring things, like big plugs in their nose to make themselves ugly on purpose. So the men
Is
would
that
stop
how that
stealing-
started?
Yeah.
Some
Whoa.
places, yeah. Some places, I suppose.
I think Odd just put up a butthole or something. That was beautiful.
That looked like a nipple. Kind of like the nipple skin.
That's a long ass nipple.
No, the skin around it, the areola. So
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
You're thinking the wrong hole.
That's inside the butthole. That's a freaking intestine, dude.
I think you said that's a different hole. That's the front
Yeah,
side.
it's a different hole.
That's the kind of hole that makes me gag.
Cervix.
So let's get back to constantly disagreeing and calling each other pieces of shit.
I would never do that.
I know, I'm just kidding.
I will disagree, yeah.
I know.
Absolutely. On the death penalty thing, I disagree all day, every day. Yeah.
Right. I know.
I'll also disagree with somebody who says that incest is immoral or bad or whatever you want to call it, because contraception, simple as that.
I'll go even further than that and say that the predisposition to be attracted to minors is not wrong. And that's going to piss a lot of people off. But hold on. The moment you act on it, it's obviously wrong because they don't have the ability to make an informed decision. And that's why it's wrong. However, people should not be just automatically condemned and like attacked or put in prison just because they are pedophiles.
So do you think that, I completely agree, be a pedophile all you like, just don't act on it.
Yeah.
Would you think that pedophiles...
That's a pederast compared to pedophile.
So hold on.
Are a
This is important because we have to get into the definition.
Like
on it, a
prepubescent or whatever.
thinks about it.
So does pedophile mean that you've acted upon it automatically? Is that in the definition?
No,
In my
pedophile
knowledge,
means
no.
you're into prepubescent or whatever. There's actually a bunch of different levels.
There's different names, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I may misuse a term.
A pederast, I believe, is a bad one.
There are a few different things, yeah, different names for it, depending on what age group you go for.
Well, no country. So when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about like the government. I'm talking about society. I feel that we shouldn't attack people for something they don't control, which is who they're attracted to. They're wired that way. They don't choose to be like that. Now, again,
that's where
if they act on
rehabilitation
it,
comes, right?
and I agree with that. Well, no, I don't think you should rehabilitate if there's really nothing that can be done. If they don't act upon it because they know that it's frowned upon or that it's wrong, then, but they still are wired toward it, just leave them alone.
You'll find a lot of pedophiles don't act on it.
Right. And I would say a majority don't.
Yeah, they control themselves. Some just can't.
And it's
so
also
what we're supposed to do now, those people are going to be a net negative, in Trob's own words, to society. Should we bump them off?
So can you say that again? I missed part of it.
Should we execute them because they'd be a net negative to society?
Who in this?
They're liable to act as pedophiles.
So people who have acted. So it depends. For me personally, it depends on my perceived likelihood of reoffense or offending again. So if I think they've learned their lesson, then as long as they should be punished for sure, serve some time, learn their lesson. But after that's over, if they don't act at all, I think they should just be brought back into society and left alone.
And of course, there is
most of them don't come back into society.
I know that's it's worth noting, and I think a lot of so it's worth noting that we don't have accurate information because pedophilia, if I'm calling it what it is, what I mean, isn't a black or white thing. It's a spectrum, like almost everything is, and everyone's on that spectrum. At most of us are probably really far away from it, but most people aren't going to say if they are. You can't trust people's just their words. So I think it's far more common than we think.
Well, if you know the story of Romeo and Juliet, it's about a 20-year-old guy and a 12-year-old girl.
Stalker.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
And if you go back to history, it was very common for a parents to marry like their 14-year-old daughter off to like a 20-some-year-old guy, just so because men mature much slower than females. Women are about fully matured at 18. A little before that, some are like 16, and males don't finish maturing till about 25.
That's true on average. Important.
Girls are looking at boys and going out dancing and makeup, and boys are playing cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
And I've made this argument before too, that on one specific level, when that comes to genetics are kind of how we're wired to like, hey, we're now sexually attracted and stuff. And that is pubescence. So you could make the argument that we are technically, it's natural to be attracted at that point. And also it's natural for men, especially, to be attracted to younger people. Now you could argue the morality of that, and I'll probably agree with you. But like, to some extent, this isn't like a cut and dry, that's evil. Now it is wrong. Obviously, the issue is that they can't give consent because they haven't been in the world long enough to learn and to
Yeah, brain's
you
not
know,
fucking
yeah,
right.
their brain is not properly
Which
set up.
that's Western culture. There's many cultures that it's still like if you go down to South America, there's one where there's like kids 9, 10 years old screwing each other and shit like that. where
True,
it's
but I would
promoted.
still argue that even in that culture, they are not genetically capable
No,
of making a decision.
critical thinking. Yeah.
Right, right.
The brain still doesn't work properly.
So I
Yeah.
would still say in that culture is wrong and needs to change for that reason.
Very yeah. Barbaric almost.
Yes, in my opinion, for that very reason. And that usually people that like have defenses against like minor attracted people, they like to use that instead of pedophilia. It's fine. But like usually that is the one thing they won't touch upon. And that is they are not capable of making informed decisions, and they'll evade that and go to like other things. And if you can't deal with that problem, we can't go further because that's the crux of it. In my view.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Religion had a lot to play with that. Like in Islam, it was common to marry off like 9-year-olds to people and shit like that. Like you weren't allowed to do anything until they had their period and everything like that. But it was still part of their culture. Same with Christianity, Mormonism.
Mm-hmm. There's other factors too, like people, especially a long time ago, had a much shorter lifespan than we do today.
Got to get on with it.
There's a lot of factors that we
Yeah,
have.
you
to
had
consider.
you had to get soldiers printed out. Basically, women were soldier printing machines. Like they needed men for the military because so many of them would die in battles and shit.
And even if it wasn't battles, like you fucking get a cut and you don't have antibacterial shit or something.
Oh yeah, the grinning death was horrible. Like when you got what's it when you get rust in your blood system?
Lockjaw? Oh, tetanus.
Yeah, tetanus. Yeah, lockjaw is the same
Tetanus.
thing.
Oh, that's the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It locks all your muscles up. Like when you die, every muscle in your body would have tightened up and you would have sat there with a smile on your face. They call it the grinning death.
Why do you smile? Because your muscles tighten up?
Yeah. Yep. All your muscles would tighten up.
That's not going to be fun, that's for sure.
That's pretty macabre.
Look up some pictures of it. People died of the grinning death. It's grotesque.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
I like grotesque shit, so I'm probably gonna love it. But yeah, I'm into the morbid stuff. I used to watch Faces of Death and shit. I loved it.
Which that's where like anti-vaxxers, like I'm like, all right, don't get a tetanus shot and go get a cut with a piece of metal once and see how you enjoy tetanus. I mean, it's like
so part of me goes, this is survival of the fittest. But part of me goes, I feel bad for them because they're ignorant and like they can't help that they're stupid. Yeah, but like, so I feel bad for them, but at the same time, they piss me off. So half the time I don't know what to do. I'm stuck.
Now flat
Earth. Perhaps we should electric chair them or something because they're bound to be a net negative to society. Like flat earthers.
I don't think that they do enough to warrant punishment. And by the way, I'm hardcore about free speech. I don't care what you say as long as you're not like threatening people or inciting violence. I believe you should be able to say whatever you want. But I am practicing. A lot of people don't get this because they're like, if you're free speech, then you let anybody say anything and you'll entertain it. No, that's a whole different thing. Just because you can say whatever you want does not mean that I'm going to waste my time discussing it with you.
Yeah, you don't have to listen.
Exactly.
Right, and there's consequence, like racist people. Like I have no time for racist people. And like
that's where they misunderstand that free speech only entails government involvement. It doesn't mean there's no consequences for your fucking words. Like when I said I could have said something in this very live stream, like it could have been perceived as defense of pedophiles. Some of the things that I said, and that could like, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit. I want you dead. Like, I mean, you can't really change how people perceive your words.
And they tie too much emotion to it. Like me, I can kind of detach emotions from my thoughts and think of it critically versus a lot of right wingers. They instantly goes to the emotions to their feelers, and then they base their thoughts off of that feeling.
I agree, and it depends on your ability to see the intent, and that's hard for many people.
I don't think it's even a case of it's right wingers. You know, it's just people generally.
Well, science, like it actually, they do like people who are more lean right wing tend to have that more emotional part of the brain, the enlarged fear response part
The
of the brain.
amygdala. Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. And that is worth noting because I get what you're saying, Mal, but I don't like it because it creates this equality fallacy that like all politics are exactly the same and they're just different opinions. That's not true. Most of the facts lean left. That's just I mean, there's less lies. It's more objective.
I didn't know that, so fine, good. Thanks.
Well, you shouldn't take my word for it.
Educated.
But even if I'm wrong, they're not going to be the same. Like they can't be because they're two different things. One is going to be more accurate than the other, and that means I don't agree with this like this arbitrary like everybody just has an opinion, and yes, you're entitled to your opinion, but it doesn't justify said opinion unless it's backed by some form of evidence or objective measure.
But then just harping back to the politics side of it, politics is all opinion anyway, isn't it?
Not always. So,
No.
Okay. So hold on. There's an opinion and yes, an opinion is opinion. What I think many people don't consider is opinions aren't just solo islands on their own. Opinions are oftentimes based on facts or perceived facts. In my opinion, most people on the right believe things based off of bullshit information, which means the opinion that the perceived fact is based off of is incorrect. And that means that it's not valid. That it's not just like, well, you have like, it's completely equal because it's not, because it's, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, look at right-wingers versus
evidence. Somebody can present evidence, somebody else can present, not all evidence is equally balanced.
Evidence is, but the problem is we have so many people, and this happens on the left too. I would wager that it happens more on the right, but it does happen on the left to where people, usually it's tribalism. Like they assign their identity to their political party or like spectrum or whatever. And so they automatically jump on anything that a perceived authority figure says on that side. And like, it's just bullshit. I have called out so many times. In fact, I focus on left-wing bullshit because in my view, it represents me to a certain extent. Not like my identity's attached to it, but like it misrepresents me when people on the left cite bullshit information. So I spend more time dealing with that because I don't want to be represented or I don't want to be associated with that shit.
I think that's fair enough.
I disagree with the right more for sure, but I don't spend as much time on it because it's kind of beating a dead horse. For the most part, they're going to believe what they're going to believe because they, from my point of view, are fed misinformation constantly, and they think it's fact.
Propaganda.
Yes, and they think it's facts. They truly believe that this shit is factually true.
I made a comment here.
Sorry. It's only since I started coming and listening to people like yourself, Tops, and streams like this, that I've actually come to think that there is a right and a left.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it before.
There is an objective. Yes, there is an objective left and right. However, it's subjective in tiny details. From country to country, your left and right are going to be slightly different.
Yeah.
But in terms of ideology, like broad, big picture, like what makes the left and what makes the right, they are very, very different. And that's objectively true.
Well, and the brain structure too. I mean, left people have brains versus right people. I mean, the UK's one did the study on it.
You're absolutely
it's
right.
Subjective though, isn't it? Because it was all done by mind.
The moment you go into subjective, meaning mind dependent, I'm going to disagree because I don't use that definition.
Well, the UK study, they did brain scans of everybody. So they brought everybody in, had them do a test, basically what they, what their ideology is, right, left, whatever, and them do questionnaires. And then they scanned all their brains, and the ones on the right had the same brain, the enlarged, the amygdala versus the left.
Yes, and what this shows, I use this exact same thing. Sorry to cut you off. I use this exact same thing constantly because we have this belief. I think, and I go too far on the nature side. Sorry. but to where I don't notice nurture a lot. We had that in this very conversation. But a lot of people do the opposite. And I use this evidence to show that you can literally give someone a personality test at an early age and show with almost pinpoint accuracy what their political beliefs are without asking them any political questions. What that shows is there is a massive genetic element involved. It's not all what you picked up through learning as a child and shit. In fact, I would say that's, go ahead. Sorry.
I was raised super conservative family. Like everybody's super conservative, and I'm like the only atheist leftist in my whole family. And that was because of just, I probably think my autism helped me go the opposite direction.
I merged conservative into Republican now. What is the difference, if you don't mind? Or basic?
Liberals are left, conservatives are right.
Yeah.
Usually the thing.
So is Republican. So what's the difference between the Republican?
Republican is right. Republican, conservative Republicans.
So they're the same.
So it's like square rectangle.
Similar.
It's square
Similar.
rectangle.
Yeah,
So
cool.
all
Cool.
Republicans are conservatives. Republicans are a subtype of conservative. I guess that's how it would be worded.
It comes off with Abraham Lincoln. He started the Log Cabin Republicans, which back then they were actually the Liberal Party, and then they switched around the late 1900s, early 1900s, or 20th century. They switched. Basically, the Democratic conservatives became the Democratic liberals, and then the conservatives became the Republican Party.
Yep. The only thing like this that I've had trouble that I only recently learned is the difference between liberal and leftist. And I used to call myself a liberal. I'm not a liberal because I don't believe that we can have the exact same form of government and make things better for like a left-leaning approach. I think we have to dismantle it, and that's a leftist.
I'm a democratic socialist. FDR, Bernie Sanders.
You would still be either a liberal or a leftist, I believe. I think all things, if you're on the left, I think you have to be, maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I'm for strong welfare programs, strong unions. I mean,
but do you still like the system as a whole? Like you think that it can be regulated and turn to the good?
It can, with strict socialist policies where we have regulations, keep like FDR, he brought in a lot of the big monopolies, monopoly busting and all that stuff where he regulated the rich to, to pay for Medicare and Social Security, things like that for the poor.
Right. True. Okay, you're kind of like right on the line. You're like a leftist liberal, like I don't know, like from my perspective,
independent. Like I'm not affiliated with either party because I see the Democrats as a right wing because they're more center right.
Yes, they are.
Republicans are far right.
Do you guys think you might do better with more parties?
I think we would do better with no limit on parties. Like you can create like unlimited parties and it's not a two-party system like it is now. What that does is makes it to where we have no options because the left knows, and that's what they're doing now, by the way. Democrats know that they only have to do almost nothing to appease the majority because the alternative is fucking Trump. And so
it just seems like dichotomy is that's it.
It is, and
I do like this. No, well, you'll do that then. But perhaps you're not. But you're stuck with it. You basically have to be this other thing because there is no.
I think that's by design. Sorry, Gadwin.
3 parties in England now: the Labour Party, the Tories, and the Democrat Party. Right.
Yeah, the Reform Party.
And then America, we actually have a Green Party, and they never get anything really. I mean, less than 5% of the vote. I mean, they're nothing because they don't have the billionaires backing them. So both of our parties are basically mostly funded by rich people on both sides.
Yeah, so I've heard you guys, maybe not you yourselves, saying that if I vote for the Green Party, I've wasted my vote. Why? Did you vote with your conscience with what you thought of, or did you vote for Democrats because everybody around you is Democrat? And
I don't vote at all.
It's a bit cultish, isn't it?
I don't either, unless I'm excited. So there's valid points on both sides. So the argument is there are so many people that are left leaning. If you split the vote, like say it's Bernie Sanders and whoever's on the Green Party or whatever, and you don't vote for Bernie because you're more about recycling and shit and like green conservation and stuff than anything else, what you're doing is you're splitting the ticket to where it's more likely for the right to succeed because you're dividing up the base.
Yep.
And that is true, but it depends on the way you're looking at things. So I agree with that, and it's factually true. However, I don't care.
That's why England has got the Conservatives won every time, because all the Liberals basically get broken up into two parties, and then all the right go right into the Tories.
And by the way, that same line of thinking is why Fox News is the most watched media in the world, in the United States. It's not because they're the best; it's because they don't have competition like the left has. The left has like 500 news outlets you can choose from.
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So, but the other side is the way I see things, and it looks like Gadwin does as well. I agree with George Carlin, and that everything gets turned the other way. Like, oh, you didn't vote, you don't have a reason to talk. It's the other way around. If you vote, you are factually part of the reason why a certain candidate either got elected or didn't get elected. To me, that just makes more sense to me, because I am not going to vote unless I truly believe and can get behind a candidate. And unless a candidate can get me to do that, which hasn't happened in a long, well, I've never voted, to be honest.
Bernie Sanders is the only reason I registered. And then after he got fucked over, I was like, nope, I'm not even voting.
Right. So I would vote for Bernie Sanders. I didn't, to my shame, I didn't at the time, but I would vote for him. But since then, like, don't get me wrong, I was more for Kamala Harris than I was for Trump. And some people would try to twist that and go, well, if you don't vote for Kamala, you're essentially voting for Trump. That's not true. I will not vote unless I'm ideologically behind the candidate. Kamala is better than Trump, but I don't like Kamala. I do not think she represents the left. I agree.
So here's another point for that then. If you can't find a candidate that you vote for, so you don't vote, how then do you have a say in how it's going, to complain or say, look, he's ruined this, or somebody else, or Kamala's fucked all this up?
Well, the reason why
you got to say that, because you haven't got to vote. You know.
So from my perspective, if I am talking shit, I have every right to talk shit, because, like, for instance, right now, I didn't vote, but specific people, at least if you believe polling, let's not open that can of worms, but if you believe that Donald Trump won the election, then there are factually people who voted and put him in there. I have more of a right to talk shit because they actually made that happen than they do because I didn't vote. Like, it kind of goes back into what we were talking about before with like positive, neutral, and negative. My non-vote is neutral. It does not affect anything. But I think people are viewing it as like a net negative because I didn't vote for the left. And I disagree with that logic.
Yep, we're just neutral bystanders, basically.
That's how I look at it.
Just vote your conscience.
Well, yes, and so a lot of people would say that it's wrong to vote ideologically for that very reason, because it's all about even if it's not who you want, it's better than the alternative. And maybe I'll change my mind someday. I'm known for changing my mind. I'm known for it, but currently I'm an ideological voter, and I will not cast a vote unless I'm truly, like, let's say 90% behind their policies.
Yeah, it's better than the alternative. Isn't a proper way to vote, is it?
I disagree with it, but some people are all about it.
If we had a better system, like more like Australia, they have a pretty good election system.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty.
Ours was good. It seems to be going downhill now.
We could do certain things that would definitely make the system better, like change our voting system. And for one, not make it like ballots that are like Democrat, Republican. You should be able to have like a first, second, third. It's called something, but I can't remember what it's called. It's some sort of ranked choice, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, ranked choice.
Yes, and so you'll say, this is my first choice, second choice, third choice, and that way you don't have to feel like you're choosing the lesser of two evils.
Which there shouldn't even be a parties in my perspective. It should just be all independents and then you vote on their ID, what they plan on doing, or what they can, their platform.
Well, what they like to do here is, if they think they're liable to lose an election or something because they're not getting enough votes from this area or that area, is they just move the boundaries.
Mm-hmm. It's called
Well,
gerrymandering.
Can't fault it.
Yep. And there needs to be laws against that shit. I don't know why the fuck that's legal. That's the most fucking like blatantly tyrannical
Corrupt.
shit ever, and it's just normal.
Which it's messed up because Republicans are actually the smallest group of registered voters in the United States. They're like 21% of registered voters. The Democrat Party is like 27 to 30% of the people, and then the rest are independents. But yet Republicans hold 50% or more of the seats in House Congress.
A lot of the problem there is how we determine representation. So most blue areas have the largest populations, but they say that's not fair. If you were to say an opinion is an opinion, then that is fair. If everyone should have their opinion heard and accounted for, then we would always be blue every single time, because every vote would be considered one vote, and it wouldn't be based on like representation, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just the way things are set up. I completely disagree with it.
Like
well, and all the political ad bullshit. Like up in Canada, they can only run political ads for like 6 weeks before the election, and that's it. We do it for like a year and a half.
I gotta say, the money you guys spend on elections is insane.
It needs to change because it makes it to where we can't get any decent candidates. You have to be fucking rich or have the backing of either the Democrats or the Republicans, which goes back to what we were just talking about. It's all set up like that on purpose.
That's bonkers. Wow. Yeah, it's getting a bit like that here, but it's not as.
The Tories are trying to rig it that way for them in your country, because the Tories want to have power, which they're the minority group again, because you guys split between the Labor Party and the Democrat Party, which you would, if you combine those parties together, you would have liberal policies versus the Tories' dumb shit policies like Brexit, which really screwed you people.
Yeah. But it's just nuts. I can't understand it. Who was it? Hillary Clinton, or was it Obama, or was it Biden? It was one of those. They spent the most money in history on their election campaign. It was loony money. You know? I can't remember which one it was, but it was just nuts.
Every year it gets more and more.
But that's the problem. You can't justify it. You can't go, this is where this is where this exact amount of money went to. You can't break it down because it won't add up. It's corruption, because it costs next to nothing in the current age to advertise. Like, there's no excuse for the amount of money it costs. It's got to be some sort of bullshit, corrupt shit.
It's super PACs. It's a bunch of billionaires dumping money into super PACs where they don't have to put their name to it, and then it gives endless flows of cash to these candidates.
Well, it's a bit like our football over here, our soccer, our Premiership League. You know, you basically buy it. You spend enough money, you win it. That's it.
That's pretty much how it is now. It's like Elon Musk spent, I don't remember, but it's a famous amount of money to get Trump elected, and it worked.
250 million.
Yeah, like a holy fuck amount of money. And that should be illegal. Why the fuck? Like, it's because the Supreme Court ruled that money is free speech, and that is bullshit.
Citizens United.
Yes, and that ruined fucking everything, and until that's overturned, I don't see any hope, honestly.
Which I have been watching. The Supreme Court's been striking Trump down. So basically, they're going to make his tariffs illegal, and he's going to have to pay back all the money he took in from tariffs.
Yes, and I'm excited about it. A lot of people are like, dude, that makes you unpatriotic because we got all that. Look, I didn't get no fucking money out of the damn tariffs. And by the way, even besides the point, I don't believe in this fucking way that right wingers think that, like, what is it? Power? No, not power. What's the saying that right makes right? I don't believe in that shit. It's not okay to fuck over other countries just because you can. Even if we benefit, I don't like it.
We're the people paying the tax. So anything that you buy that comes, like the company I worked for, we brought our wood in from Canada, maple. And so we had to pay that tariff on that wood coming in.
Yeah. That's
And
the other argument, is it's not even doing what it's supposed to do. It all gets passed down to the consumer eventually.
Yep. It gets put on the price tag. So we
Mhm.
saw, so the company I worked for, 63% of the products we made were actually exported to other countries. So every week I had a piece count. I had to do about 80,000 pieces of wood to come to form these different cabinets. I've watched once tariffs kicked in, that those orders went down to about 22,000. Just because nobody's gonna, because the countries put retaliatory tariffs on us. So if we put tariffs on them, they put it right back on us. So anything their country would have bought from America, they
Yep.
had to pay those high tariffs on too. So they
Yes.
just bought from another country.
And it fucks us long term. And that's the
Mhm.
problem. And people don't understand this. And it just makes me angry that I can't get through to people that like why this is fucking you, even if you're on the right, unless you're wealthy.
Well, if they would learn about the Great Depression and why it happened, I mean, it was because of the Smoot-Hawley taxes
Yep.
or tariffs, and it caused people, the whole economic system, to break down.
Yep.
The Romans tried tariffs, didn't they? And
Mhm.
they went tits up then as well.
Well, most countries have tariffs.
Mhm.
It's more so just to cover like the importing of customs that have,
Yeah.
you know, the fun customs. So you have maybe a 1-2% tariff on everything, which is almost nothing.
Yep.
But when you're putting 50, 120% fucking tariffs on a product, that's doubling the price of that product for the consumer.
That's true. And I'll point out the god of the right, I think it's Adam Smith or something Smith, the fucking like godfather of like right wing economics. He himself said,
Schmidt,
what is it?
Adam Schmidt or something like that.
I thought it was Smith, but it might be. But either way, that dude said directly that in any society that you are basically like you have to or it's your duty to find the cheapest stuff possible within certain like quality guidelines, and it benefits everyone. And this whole like isolationist like America first shit goes completely against that. Why the fuck are you like claiming that you're like all about this dude when you go completely against everything he says? Because Trump does not represent that.
Probably making too much money.
Probably. But the people that the people in general aren't, is they're just being fucking like tricked.
It's not hard to dupe MAGA though. I mean, they get sold all this Trump merchandise.
That's
Like,
true.
I find it hilarious. The people who cry about identity politics literally wear shirts and hats telling everybody their politics.
I know. It's always that's always the case with the right. They complain about things and it's always projection because they do it even worse. Like snowflakes. They're the biggest snowflakes on the planet by far.
Budweiser, Goodyear, Michelin,
Everything
and all
like
that.
over and over you can find examples left and right. Like one of the big ones lately is how the left, and it was all about fucking not virtue signaling, cancel culture. They have the most extreme cancel culture we've ever seen in America right now. And all of a sudden they're silent. No one's saying a word about it. Like they're so hardcore about this topic, but then it happens on their side and they're like crickets.
Yeah,
What
they
the
want to
fuck?
cancel everybody they don't agree with, but if you agree, like cancel one of their people for saying racist things.
Yeah, it shows that they're not about. This is why, and you may disagree with this. I sort of respect what's his name. He's a libertarian right winger. Very popular dude. I can't think of his name though. He has a father that has the same last name, and they were both Rand Paul, maybe. I think.
Oh, Rand and Ron.
Yes, I respect him, and the reason why, and this is what I have against the right in general, they don't have fucking virtues. They don't stick to their principles. He does. Even though I disagree with him, he doesn't do like corrupt shit. He actually believes in what he thinks, at least from my perspective.
For the most part, but some of the, I don't agree with everything he says, but
Well, I'm saying the same thing. I don't
I would
agree with him. But he's not lying. That's my issue with the right. They claim that these are their virtues, but they don't care about them. It's all bullshit. It's tribalism.
Mm-hmm.
That's my problem.
I would have no problem. I'd have no problem with somebody believing what they say and being honest about it if they're still a bit skeptical and can have their mind changed. If they're stuck on it, then it's not so good.
Well, it depends. So this goes back into what we were talking about before. Some things are purely subjective. Some things are subjective, but based on facts. So if it's one of the things that's just 100% subjective, like your favorite color, I know that's a little extreme, but just to make my point, then you're not going to have an argument and be successful in that. And some things on the right, I see in that way. For example, many people won't like this probably, but abortion. I honestly view abortion as kind of, from an objective standpoint, it's kind of like a wash. There's valid points on both sides in my view.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's not one of those things like climate change. They're just factually wrong. It's they're stupid. But when it comes to certain things, I can respect their view because it's entirely subjective and based on their particular way of viewing things. They're not factually incorrect, if you know what I'm saying. And that is how I see Rand Paul, at least on some issues. And again, everyone knows, every lobbyist knows, you don't fuck with Bernie Sanders and you don't fuck with Rand Paul because you can't buy either of those off. That's what I respect about him.
Yep.
I used to think, I don't know much about it, but I used to think that Bernie Sanders would won if he'd run.
That he would what?
He would have won if he'd run.
I think so too. I think so too.
He got shafted in the primary. So
I don't know.
Where I'm at, we have what's called a closed primary. So you can't vote for either side of the ticket if you're an independent during the primary. So no independents could vote for, say, Bernie Sanders or, the Republican candidate at the time. So then that kind of skewed it. And then Debbie Wasserman Schultz was the head of the DNC. She just basically threw Bernie to the side and made Hillary Clinton the nominee. And Bernie Sanders was pulled to basically stomp Trump into the ground if he would have ran against Trump. And the Democrats went with, we got to have a woman for president. Yay. We can virtual signaling basically because they
well, some people fell for that, but that wasn't the real reason. The real reason is that Bernie wouldn't toe the party line. Bernie was actually a leftist. That's what they didn't like. He wouldn't be bought off. He wouldn't take fucking shit tons of money from lobbyists and then cave and give policy decisions that would favor them.
He was a socialist because Fox and CNN were both, MSNBC were all like, he's a socialist.
But but that's bullshit. But the point is, they did that to smear him, to make it to where he couldn't stand a chance because he threatens the status quo. That was the issue.
Yeah. Well, he kept going on about taxing the rich and basically to pay for all the poor and everything like that. To go back to how it was with FDR, he's the one to put up the 90% tax rate on anybody after you made $3 million, and actually,
absolutely. And I hate to say this, but from a perspective of reality, I think Bernie should have toned it down a few notches. I agree with all of his points, so let's get that clear. But he should have toned it down to where he could be electable and then say, fuck it, I'm going full fucking Democratic socialist.
What it's funny is because it goes back to that old saying where all Americans think they're a temporary embarrassed millionaire. That's why socialism never took place in America.
You're right.
Most voters, they're not millionaires. It's only a small group of people that are actually millionaires that would have affected.
But they have this idea in their head, this ideal in their head that one day I'm going to be a billionaire. And if this comes to fruition, I can't be.
Yep.
That's what fucks everything up. Yeah, because statistically, we know all of the people that think this, you can't become billionaires. It's not possible. I
watched this guy do a social experiment here not long ago. He wanted to go start from nothing, and he said he could become a millionaire starting at nothing. He quit after a month because he was not going anywhere.
that goes back into like the thing that I constantly fight against, and that's the belief that this is a meritocracy. It's not. In fact, it's closer to the opposite than that's the case. Most people, I'll even apply that to me. My current position, I don't make a lot of money, but I don't do shit compared to the lowest of the low. The people that make the least usually do the hardest work. That's
You
just
think they're the
truth.
ones being fed the you can be a millionaire like me stuff?
Yes, and that's why they're working, and that's why, like on the last live stream, why I said that I've changed my mind on like that work ethic shit, because you're kind of just being taken advantage of. They use that, and they make you think that you're going to be working to become rich or whatever, and you're going to succeed if you just work hard enough. And do you know how many people I see that are like, that have worked insanely hard their whole fucking lives, and they're like 90 years old, and they're like, they finally learned. They finally figured it out. I've been had.
Yep. They couldn't pull themselves up by the
On
bootstraps.
the on a slightly different note about that, do you think the what do you call it? The mental health side of it matters? Do you think we're fed this? We grew up with this. It's part of our society that
The rich have been
it
doing
makes you
it
feel good to do
I
a
think
good job.
I think it's both. It's a combination. So yes, and I've conceded this. It makes you feel better. You're more optimistic. You don't wake up dreading work if you have that sort of pro-work attitude. It's good for you. I'm not denying that.
Okay.
But the opposite, it's a separate issue, is that wealthy people take advantage of that so they don't have to pay you what you're actually worth.
social
I agree with
engineering.
that. Yeah.
So
We are
it's both.
social engineered to be hard workers and made to think that we will become rich, but in the long run, we never will bear, our standard of living is
because,
slightly higher than our wages that we make. So therefore you have to spend about 110% of what you make a year just to stay afloat.
Mhm.
That assumes that we're looking to make lots of money, become millionaires. Like I was saying, we're getting fed that anyway. But then you've got people who choose careers that are hard work, or volunteer workers. Those kind of people. They get up in the morning and they love it, and they're not making a penny. Farmers
Well, that's
work
where
hard,
ignorance is bliss, though, as they say.
No,
If
they
you're
just
ignorant of
they
things
just
that you
they
don't
just love
know,
what they do.
So there's some truth to that, but I hate the saying, because to me, in general, this is of course very broad. The ignorance is bliss thing is true, but it's for a short period of time. In my view, in the long run, big picture, especially like the course of your lifetime, ignorance harms you more than anything else. The truth
yeah.
is always more viable, or the course you should take, in my view.
Which the truth has also hampered me, because then it's like, well, I get discouraged because I understand the truth of it, but I would have went and been a harder this or that or done more because I was ignorant of those outcomes. But I always look at the foreseeable outcomes of things that happen, so therefore I don't even start doing things because I know the outcome.
Yes.
Yeah, but, you can feel good being a volunteer and not earning money and climbing this housing ladder and all that stuff. People do that. They choose careers. They love it.
Yeah.
They feel good doing it. They get up in the morning. I used to do it. I used to be teaching. I used
To be like a
I loved
teacher, a
it.
doctor,
no
an
bloody money in
engineer.
it, you know?
There is
And
money in those.
I'm not suddenly learning that I've been conned. I just loved it. Athletes don't get up in the morning, run for 10 years, and then go, "Oh, I was conned."
That's a
I never
very
made any
small
money.
percent of the population. Most of your people are
Of course it
laborers,
is. Yeah.
farm
No, because-
workers. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, farm workers work hard. They don't make money.
yeah, you don't make. I worked on a dairy farm. I
Yeah,
made
I
like
worked-
$9 an hour. I didn't make. You work hard and don't make much money.
I worked on farms. They don't make a lot of money. They eat well.
And again,
Oh yeah, they give me lunch.
even if we had to somehow, I don't give a shit. If we had to fund them and they were given, what's it called, where the government pays like taxes to prop something up?
Subsidized.
Yes, subsidized. If they subsidize farming so that farmers make a lot of money, I'd be perfectly fucking cool with it, because they work harder than fucking almost any of us.
Most of the subsidies after World War II were still in place, like SNAP, WIC. Those are all farm subsidies.
Oh, really?
But the SNAP program made it so farmers sold more product. and then that also created grocery stores, because that's where a lot of their income comes from, is from the government subsidizing SNAP, which then those people spend it at those select grocery stores, and then they get the money for it. So if you take SNAP out of the equation, the farmers aren't getting the money for sold products, and then the grocery stores aren't getting the money out of it for resale.
That makes sense.
And then there's a bunch of other ones like crop insurances and stuff like that. Those are all subsidized by the government.
The supermarkets are killing farmers over here.
But those don't go directly to farmers, do they?
What?
Like, so those subsidies are like a middleman, aren't they? Like they don't.
The grocery
they don't
store's like
prop
the middleman.
Right, but they don't prop up the farmer themselves, do they?
Well, the farmer grows products knowing that he's going to have a guaranteed sales to certain places.
Right,
It's
I
like a
understand
dairy farmer
that.
makes milk because he knows it's going to go to the butter plant or the cheese factory,
Right.
and then they pay him, and then that cheese, well, they know that they got orders to send it to such and such grocery stores, which then they get bought by the SNAP benefits.
Right. So what it does is it gives them job security. But what I'm talking about is they should make more money, even if taxes have to cover the difference.
Well, it's because we went to this maximized production scale. So it's always maximize everything. And we're at a scale now that we make so much stuff that it's not really in demand.
Right.
And that's what's caused a lot. Like if you go up to Canada, they actually have quotas on milk. So each dairy farmer has a certain quota that he's supposed to just meet. And then after that, you don't make no more.
I think we still have that here. We used to have that. I think it's still here. Plus, the supermarkets rule the roost here. I suppose it's similar over there. It's pretty terrible. I mean, if you're late with your deliveries and things like, oh, but they just go somewhere else, you lose the business and you go broke.
I see it a lot monopolizing here. Like there used to be multiple brands of grocery stores here. Now it's all the one Wise grocery stores everywhere. And it's all you pretty much see.
And the produce has to come in spick and span and shiny and perfectly shaped, or they don't want it. Now you lose the business and now you go broke again. They rule the roost, you know, and they don't pay the money.
Well, the aesthetic part, like when I worked on the dairy farm, we did produce as well. Like everything had to look aesthetically pleasing. They didn't want anything with a bruise or anything like that. It was perfectly fine.
And they just throw that shit out.
Well, we would actually, since it was Mennonites, so we'd put them in baskets separately, and then they'd use it for making stewed tomatoes and things like that. Like
that's good.
It didn't go to waste, or it went and got fed to the dairy cows.
And that's great, but in my experience in like the food service industry and then like the retail, the opposite. If something looks a little wrong, they literally throw that shit in the compactor. It's so wrong.
Yep. And then they make it illegal for homeless people to eat it.
Yeah,
it's illegal to feed homeless people.
That's even worse. Is not only are you not trying to put any effort into like not letting this food go to waste, you're actually criminalizing fucking people that have nothing getting help. What the fuck?
Have you seen, I don't know if you have it, hotels over here will throw food out into like a bin with a big lid on it. You know, big square bin on wheels with a big lid on it.
We call them
padlocked.
Yep.
So the homeless can't eat
it. If you're right, Ceralius, then that's great. That's how it should be. Like, because I believe so a lot of people on the right say this, and again, I know I'm being broad, but I can't talk forever. Like a lot of people talk about a meritocracy. I'm all about a meritocracy. In fact, I want us to be more like a meritocracy, and that means not this bullshit that they straw man, like you want everyone to make the same amount, because no one fucking believes that. You're straw manning. But people that work harder should make more. Like, I don't see where anyone can disagree with that. So these people that are killing themselves working fucking 3 jobs shouldn't have to. Like, that's my entire argument. Like, I don't see how anyone can disagree.
It's the owner class thinking they deserve the most for doing the least. And it's just like most of these companies, like even my family's company, they charged, I think it was like $37 an hour for labor, but then I only got paid $15 an hour labor. So everything extra they kept.
From their point of view, what made them more deserving of that?
They could never say that to me. They're like, oh, we got to pay taxes too. They matched everything we pay. So when they do payroll tax, everything you pay in Social Security and Medicare, they match it. That's it. That is payroll tax. That's it.
That's wrong.
And that's nothing almost. I mean, that's only like 2% of your paycheck.
So if they don't answer it or they couldn't answer it, it's because the answer is not anything good, meaning it's because they're greedy pieces of shit.
Oh yeah, like I'd make about 30,000 a year, while they're making 100,000 a year.
There's no excuse for that, especially if they're doing the same fucking thing.
They expected me to live up to the same standards as them, like how I lived life and everything. It's like I can't
exactly.
I have a third of what you get.
Exactly. And that's the point that I was making whenever I brought up that I've changed my mind on that hardcore work ethic. Because if not just me, because I'm just one dude, if all of society started evaluating what they put in versus what they get and change their productivity accordingly, this shit would change, because I guarantee you rich people won't play the long game. They need their money and they need it now. If we push them, by the way, it's what happened with the food service industry. At least around here, they started making like 18, 20 something dollars an hour in like fast food. Yes, it jacked up prices, but I don't give a shit about everybody. I care about the lowest of the low. And that worked because they all said, fuck you, we're not going to do this for nothing. And now if everyone did that, it would work.
Which there might be change coming. It was funny, it was Elon. But he was saying about universal basic income, but it was actually another term he used. Basically, it's going to be higher than a basic income. Like it's going to be a substantial income. Because of I don't know if you saw, the tech industry just fired 150-some thousand people. All these big AI companies. So far this year,
bubble.
Yeah. Well, it's not that, but they're replacing people with AI.
So it's not just what we were worried about. Oh, AI is going to take over jobs. AI took over AI.
Yeah, 150,000 jobs were just replaced in the AI industry with AI. And
you can't even fact check it because there's a lie to you.
Wow.
There's.
Excuse me for interrupting. I gotta go, guys.
You're good.
Hey, man, catch you later, brother.
3:20 in the morning. Yeah. You take care, please.
Oh wow.
See you, man.
Thank you for your help all evening, brother.
Thanks for having me.
So far this year in America, we lost 1.1 million jobs.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we're looking at the stock market just tanked hard this week. Like everything's down like 3 to 4%. Like it's rough. Like they're getting ready for a recession basically. And the 7 major companies of the S&P are all these AI companies. They're basically almost like they're over 50% of the S&P.
And what's going to happen is they're going to hyper focus, all media, including the left, is going to hyper focus on the market in those. They won't mention that it's only a few, but they're going to go, oh, look at how great the economy is doing, even though everybody else is fucked.
Oh, everything's tanking. Gold's even going down at like it's
except for AI. But my point is they're going to, that's what they always do. They hyper focus on the good and try to push this narrative that we're doing fucking great.
Oh, well, Trump banned, well, it's because the government shut down too. Like there's no job numbers really coming out. Like,
of course, he wants that.
Yeah, it's basically they get the information from the companies saying they're laying off. Like Microsoft laid off like 20,000, Amazon like another 30,000, so on.
Yep. I guess I'm gonna run for like another 20 minutes or so, even though I'm past time. I've had a stressful couple of damn days. Frickin', I had no water for a while, then I didn't have a car for 2 days.
Oh, my stepdad just hit a deer tonight with his car.
I'd eat it. Why is roadkill considered so wrong? Like, I don't understand. Maybe like organs get damaged and it can contaminate or something?
I think people just think of something that's been laying on the road for days when it's really, you take it. I've eaten many a roadkill deer.
That makes sense. So it's a belief that it's probably been there for a while. That's the problem.
Yeah, you got to get it instantly. So as soon as you hit a deer, like I've already had it where we brought one back in the back of a truck, and after we got back to the house, the fucker came back alive and started bouncing around the truck. We had to take a hammer to it and beat its skull.
What the fuck? Dude, that'd scare the fuck out of me.
I mean, its spine was broken, so it was sitting there just flailing, kind of. Like it was in pain.
For one, it scared the fuck out of me. Two, I would feel terrible because I would know that I didn't make a humane kill. Damn.
Well, I went through somebody's windshield. The one that was a Thanksgiving deer. Somebody was going to a friend's.
Oh, so it wasn't okay. I get it. It wasn't a shot.
Yeah, it smashed into the windshield. It must have just knocked it unconscious, plus broke its back, and then we loaded it up, brought it back to the house, and that came back alive.
I would still feel bad, but I wouldn't feel as bad. So I guess what I would do after that is if I hit a deer or something, and like I would remember that and go, hey, that motherfucker might still be alive, and I would make a quick death. I would find some way to make sure he's dead.
Yeah, basically. Slit his throat or something like that. We've already had them where cops come down and just blast him in the head and shit like that.
I'll have to do that if I can't make good shot placement next year. But it's not that big of a deal because it's like, unless you lose them. If you lose them, that's fucking terrible and that's inhumane as fuck. But if you make the shot, it's still alive and it can't really get very far, you can simply bridge the gap and make a second shot that's a kill shot.
Yeah, if you're quick enough. But also make sure to get it tested. There's a lot of like Lyme's disease, and like deer carry a lot of Lyme's disease from ticks.
Does Lyme disease not die through cooking?
Well, I think cooking it does, but the ticks. So whenever you're preparing the deer and stuff like that, I've had ticks crawl on me already from the deer. But the thing you want to get tested for is called wasting disease.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it zombifies the freaking deer. They're deer walking around, they're like eyeballs hanging out and shit like that. Like they look disgusting.
The fuck? Does that contaminate the meat?
Yeah, you don't want to eat that.
Okay.
And I think there's something else. There's another one. I know they were getting COVID real bad too. Freaking deer actually got COVID and we're spreading that around.
Well, what I would hope is like the ones that I have to worry about in terms of cooking it. There's a way to be able to tell through knowledge rather than having to get it tested, because that would suck if you have to fucking get an animal tested every time.
Well, here they have services like bring your deer in to get it tested after you made the kill, and like you can come in, they do a quick blood test, and like because that wasting disease, it's basically like a zombification of the deer. Like it's nasty stuff.
Damn. Marcus Aurelius. To be honest, even though I live here, Western North Carolina, I am sort of like a hardcore hermit, and I don't talk to people. So I'm not really a good person to answer the question, but from my perspective, they've bounced back really well within like a year. But I could be completely wrong.
I was reading that thing about it. It was saying after extensive hunting in the 90s, well, up to the 90s, like your deer population was actually really low. They're just now back to normal levels.
If that's the case, then I won't hunt here. But we still have a problem with hogs. It's unfortunate because I'm not really a big pig person, but it's also it's not just about eating meat. It's the primary is doing the right thing, and that's fixing the ecosystem. So I haven't researched that, but if I do the research and find out that North Carolina does not have a massive overpopulation problem with deer, then I'm not going to be doing that.
They got that wasting disease in North Carolina. 2021, they found it there.
Damn. Luckily, those counties are far away. Hopefully, it hasn't spread. If it has, that's something I got to worry about.
Yeah, if you should look up some videos of it. Then it's because people got it on like camera and stuff. It's disgusting. Like a deer walking through the woods with its eye hanging out of its skull and shit.
The fuck?
Big festering wounds.
Well, luckily, that's very observable. You won't need a test for that if you know what to look for.
Well, if it's accelerated to that point.
Oh, like, that's a good point.
It could not be there yet.
Yeah, it's similar to COVID where you can have you can be completely asymptomatic and
like you're like when you're skinning the deer and you accidentally cut yourself and then get that deer's blood into your blood, and then you're infected now with that. Same with like rabies.
Right. The issue with the wolves thing, by the way, I completely agree with you. I think it's fucked up that we caused the problem in the first place, but it's unrealistic and kind of illogical to say we should help the wolves. We can't undo what has been done. And by the way, there's tons of money already allocated toward helping any endangered animal.
Well,
so we have to be realistic here.
Trump's cutting a lot of that, like the natural part of what they call EPA. Trump pretty much cut that budget to nothing.
Of course. So okay, I'll take that back, but I agree that we should be trying to help the situation. But there's some things that are more doable than others. Like again, after what Gad said, maybe we don't have an overpopulation problem here, and again, then I won't do anything. But if there was an overpopulation problem, I can much easier curb the population so there isn't a bunch of fawn literally starving to death because there's not enough food. I can deal with that problem as an individual a lot easier than I could save wolves. We have to be realistic.
Yeah, well, the reason wolves were killed off because I mean, early settlers, that was a danger to them and their livestock. So wolves would come in, kill the livestock, which then would cause the family to starve.
Right. Absolutely. And so it's terrible, but you can kind of understand why it happened. But either way, no one's going to convince me that it's wrong or hypocritical or whatever. You don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, which as Marcus says there, Richard Nixon is actually the one that started the EPA, which was a Republican, and now Republicans are anti.
It's so weird. There's so many things like that, and it goes back to what I said about they don't have actual things that they stand on. They don't have beliefs that are like their virtues. You can also see that. Yes, you can also see that in how they're so hardcore against abortion now, when literally in the past, clergy members were the people who actually conducted abortions.
Well, Nixon's the one that made it a constitutional amendment. That was under Nixon that abortion became a constitutional right.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn.
1973, I think it was. Yeah. Republicans made it law and then spent the next like 40 years crying about it. It's so stupid. It's they just need I said it on a comment here. The Republicans are really good at building straw men because all they know is scarecrows because all they know is straw men.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what it is. Like scarecrows for about immigration, scarecrows about abortion, scarecrows about climate change. Like,
well, it goes back to what you said about they have an enlarged amygdala. They don't have to present facts. All they have to do is cater to that fear because that's what they're based on. The whole immigration thing, there's no statistics that show that they are harming people. In fact, statistics show the opposite. They actually bring down prices.
Well, they don't want to get in trouble too.
Exactly.
So they're avoiding doing crime, so therefore they don't get deported.
Well, yeah, that's on the crime front. You're right, but that's on the crime front. On the economy front, they also benefit us because they do jobs that other people aren't going to do, and they bring down the prices as a result.
Well, yeah, cheap labor, and then they also contribute tax money, but because they pay the sales tax, they pay like gasoline tax, they pay all the tax on everything they buy. Like that goes into the economy, that goes to the federal government, and then that's used for welfare and other programs.
Absolutely. So it's selfishness. What they do is they're hyper focused on this me thing, and they go, hey, there's people out there that aren't paying the exact same like income taxes as me. They're they're so focused on this selfish way of thinking that they completely neglect all of the massive number of ways that they benefit all of us. It's so stupid.
And it's so weird because Reagan, he did the Dreamer Act, which made everybody up to like 1984, 1986 a U.S. citizen that was there illegal. And now Republicans are anti-immigrant when the Republican Party used to be the party for.
Well, it goes to show that all you have to do is give some sort of thing that can be, even if it's not true, if it can spread fear among like the right-wing base, you're golden. You're going to completely change their mind. They'll completely flip-flop on shit if you. And again, in this case, it's this notion, the bullshit notion that, oh, immigrants are trying to take your jobs. Immigrants are taking over, like the white replacement theory, the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Yeah, so these things, they get in people's head and they cause them to be so afraid they don't care about all the other ramifications. Like, it's sad, but I don't know how to fight it.
If people would learn history, like they would understand that Republicans have always been on the wrong side of history. Like when it goes back to the women's suffrage movement, Republicans tried to keep women from having rights. When it came to the Segregation Act of 1961, Republicans used the filibuster for the very first time to block the Segregation Act. It wasn't until 1963 that it actually got passed through 2 more years of civil unrest and such.
Yes, and it makes perfect sense because of the very base of what conservatism means. It means conserving traditional values and shit. And as time goes on, we have all this, sometimes new evil shit happens. But in the past, the best examples were like racism, fucking slavery and shit. They want to
Homophobia.
keep, yes, they want to keep this shit that's just fucking wrong just because it's a tradition.
Yep.
Their entire way of thinking is backward. The entire purpose, at least in my view, of mankind and society in general is to constantly alter depending on technology, evolving morality. We constantly change for the better. Their entire mindset is to not do that, which is stupid.
Yeah, yep. They want to be like Saudi Arabia, but then they want to cry about Muslim Sharia law, but yet they want to enforce their own basic Christian Sharia
Exactly.
law.
They like logically their shit never matches up. It's like they can't keep everything is conflicting. Like everything goes against all the shit they say.
Which that goes back to the amygdala part. Like liberal people tend to use more logic and less feeling in their ideas, and right wingers they use more emotion. Like Rash is very emotional.
Right. So again, I'm reading, but if and I know Rash fairly well, if what I read is intended to inflame, I'm ignoring it because there's no point in that. I don't have any like negative feelings toward Rash or whatever.
I don't either. I miss Rash.
He's fine, but like I'm also not gonna bite on your drama shit. I'm not playing your game. It's not my thing. It's not what I'm here for.
Come back, Rash. Come back.
Baby, come back.
I was starting to think of that song. Baby, come back.
Awesome. No, it was good conversation. Fuck. No one's.
Yeah, I don't have anybody to share shit with anymore. Now it's just me like yelling in a void, it seems.
So it's a constant balancing act, in my opinion. I always want to have people that have opposing views because one, it causes growth, and oftentimes they're going to show you stuff that you didn't know.
For sure.
Even different perspectives and stuff, and that's useful. So, but the problem is you both have to be on the same page and be willing to be wrong and be willing to accept other viewpoints without getting emotional. And the moment someone can't do that, you lose that. And then we end up with only the same-minded people around. And it's
like
hard.
Let's sort this out, Trobes. Let's sort this out. What's this lie that he's talking about right there?
This what?
Inflame nothing. You lied about me, Trobes, and you can't fight that fact. What's that lie?
I don't know. He would have to specifically state what it is, but I can guarantee you, without even knowing what it is, it wasn't a lie. I don't lie.
No, well, fair enough. Fair enough. It's a different perspective.
So it's possible that right. Well, I'll admit that it's possible that we have a different perspective on something, but
yeah, totally agree.
In no way would I purposefully say something about someone that wasn't true. Unless I'm trolling. That's a whole different thing, though.
Yeah, but, generally you haven't been with Rash. It's been rational argument.
So, again, you're hung up on this. So this shows you, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to lie just because you're angry. So you lost the debate, honestly. And it's not even about subjectivity. You yourself know you lost, which is why you're behaving like you are now. It's why you're acting like a child. So, and then you're flipping it and you're projecting onto me that I lost. And again, it's like, you're playing. See, I understand what you're trying to do, Odd. And I get it. And I understand. I even agree with you, but it's not going to work. It's like, because he is not coming at this from the perspective of like a good faith interlocutor. He's trying to
at the moment. He's saying there's a lie there, and you could just like backtrack to that moment and say, "Oh, let me re-explain." But he's not giving you an opportunity. He's calling you a liar.
I know,
giving you a chance to re-explain.
Which is why exactly. Which is why I said what I just did. In theory, what you're proposing is great, but he's not here to make a valid point. He's here to attack me.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. And he showed it there in freaking 5 texts. Rash, relax, come back as normal. Or freaking, what are you doing?
So if you don't want me to ignore you, don't be combative like a child. Let's talk about it like adults.
It wasn't a lie, Rash. It was a misunderstanding. And you should go back to the freaking diversion and freaking discuss it from there.
Why are you so obsessed with this? This was like forever ago.
Yeah, that was months ago.
Well, yeah, to us, but not to him because he hasn't been here.
True.
And I wasn't part of it. I only read half of it, like I said, but fuck, he wasn't.
I didn't even read it.
He was a rational, opposing conversationalist, and I'm all for him returning.
Oh, me too. Absolutely. Like I said from the get-go, I don't think he claimed this. I'm not trying to say he claimed this, but some people may have the impression that I kicked him. That's not true. In fact, I was at no point was I going to say, hey, you need to leave the server or whatever. Never.
And regardless of what was really said, he can come back and re-explain, you know, lie, not lie, blah, 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 neutral, come and re-explain. Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Please, please, please have a mic that works.
Hello?
Be quiet till...
Hello. By the way, I know. And by the way, I want you to come back, but I don't want this to sound like I'm leaving because you think I'm losing or something. I'm going to have to leave soon. So we've got about 20 minutes.
No, I got that. You got 20 minutes.
Okay.
You called me a liar. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And what do you think the lie that I did was?
So, numerous times in the post, you directly stated that it was, hold on, let me go back up because you said it exactly what it was. In fact, you could say it now because you had it right.
Okay. You said that I said numerous times that the atheists that we were talking about, the Stalins and the Maos, did it because they didn't believe in God. Yes. I only used the word atheist. I'd never said, and I've never said it even about religious people. They did it in the name of God or in not the name of God or because they didn't believe in God. I've never said it. And you could not prove that. And when you couldn't prove that, you just started saying that, oh, you're doing half-truths. And you would try to tell me, but that's what I think. And I've never said that, and I never thought that. So I don't think that way.
So hold on. So you're right. You're right. Everything you just said is correct. I admitted that I couldn't prove it, but from my perspective, the evidence is clearly in the camp that that is what you believed based on the wording that you put down. So then you said that's not what I meant, but I can't believe that because that's not what your word said.
Right. So you try to say what I think, even though I've never said that. I've said the same thing about religious people. When they did the 9/11 that happened, I don't say that I think they did it because of God. I know that he did it because he saw the U.S. Army, the U.S. Navy, shoot twin complexes in Lebanon, a residential twin complex. That's why he chose the Twin Towers. It had nothing to do with God in that sense. You understand?
Yes, but I don't understand why you're using that as an analogy. It seems like you just jumped off.
I'm using that as an analogy because I don't think the way you seem to think I think.
Oh, I know. So this is the problem. I can't get inside your head. So the only thing I have is your words. So again,
you can listen to my words.
No. I've got to correct one thing you said. You had a problem that I told you how you think. That's not what I did. I told you how I perceive how you think in opposition to what you claimed you think. Those are two different things.
Well, obviously that is not true. And then it went further. Remember, you said you were going to release all these things so that you could see, everybody can see the stuff that we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Right after that, you said that you never said that the middle ground is always a fallacy. And yet I showed you a video of you.
I didn't say that.
And it was it's timestamp. You show people everything. Show people everything where you literally said it's always a fallacy.
I will. No, hold on.
Go on.
I will, and I'll include the video, and I guarantee you people will understand what I meant when I said that. They won't take it the way you did. Because it's very
because
clear.
People can perceive what you think.
But it's
Can people perceive what you think? Because that's what you're talking about.
No. It's the same thing I'm talking about, because they're perceiving what I think based on the way I use words. And that's the same thing I did with you. Like, there's no difference.
And yet you were wrong in your perception, weren't you?
You can't prove that I was wrong. You could be lying, Rash. That's what I believe. That's the problem here.
Okay,
you can't prove.
In that case, you could be lying. Anybody could be lying. But I treated you as a friend, and I don't call my friends liars.
Rash.
You understand that?
What, Rash?
I know you don't think I'm a friend. I know.
Rash.
I know.
Rash. It doesn't make someone your enemy because they think you're not being honest on. I'm not the type of person that's going to lie to you and say, I believe every word you say when I don't, just to make things happy. Like, I don't do that. I don't agree with that way of thinking. I never will do that.
Friends are honest.
Well,
by the way, that applies to everyone here. I'm never going to lie to someone to stay friendly with them, ever.
And I've never lied to you, and yet here we are.
And so the problem is, you're going to say, I never lied. I'm going to say, I believe you lied. We're getting nowhere because I can't get inside your head.
You right after that admitted, oh, I think you do half-truths when you couldn't prove that I actually lied. You said that I lied, couldn't prove it, and then when you couldn't prove it, you said I was doing half-truths.
No. I said that I think. Look, you said it yourself. You're changing words. So you said yourself just now, I said, and you're right, I think. That means that I'm not claiming it's a fact. So why are we arguing?
We're arguing because you insulted someone who's always been on your side. We disagree,
Rash.
yes? You said you wanted disagreement. You said you wanted other point of view. But how is that going to work if you're going to call people a liar, can't prove it, and then tell you, oh, I'm going to ignore you now because, oh, I can't prove something that I said?
The reason, okay, so now you're straw manning me. Now let me correct you.
Okay, with the stupid word.
I didn't. So look, you're proving my point now. You're so emotional. You keep talking over me, and that's the problem. True love. The problem is that you got emotional. You felt
talking
offended.
over people, Audie.
Jesus Christ, you felt offended, and therefore you wouldn't. I couldn't get you back. And by the way, it wasn't intended as an attack. I was just being honest. I was saying, look, Rash, I don't believe that. You're not required to get offended by that. In fact, if that happened in reverse, I'd be like, well, I disagree with you, but who cares? Like, you think I'm lying. Oh, well.
You claim to be so logical and whatnot. Why didn't you address the real problem of atheists committing genocide? If atheists commit genocide at a level that is close to Christians, how can you say, oh, there's a study that says atheists are more moral and believe that study?
Rash, I covered
you commit more genocides than Muslims do.
Rash, you're acting as if I didn't directly cover this in depth, and I did. I completely disproved that. Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. Go on. What was your argument?
So what? I don't remember, but look, this is the point. That doesn't prove anything. You're being a child again. So look,
it proves that you don't even remember your argument. Don't you have an argument for it right now?
Rash,
I think you're using mistruths and half truths. Come on, man. What are you doing?
Rash, dude, you're trying. I know what you're trying to do, but you're kind of letting everyone else know your character right now.
I'm proving that you're no different than anybody else.
You haven't proved anything. You're acting like a child.
I did. You're doing what you claim I did. Yes,
no, I'm not.
It was something else you did. I never called you a child. I was never rude that way.
Dude, you are desperately...
When you start losing an argument, you actually go to, oh, you're a child. Oh, you're a liar. You don't address the situation.
Rash, how about this? You should be completely happy with this because from how you're portraying yourself right now, you're extremely confident. I'm going to make a video and I'm going to cover every single point in it, including the videos that you put, and we'll let people decide for themselves. I have absolutely no problem with that.
Yes, and I'm sure all the atheists and all your little church atheist group will join in and say, "Oh, look how right Trobs is."
You're being emotional again, dude.
You do not have a group of people who you allow on all the time, or who can even be bothered to come. You don't have that group of people that you want to oppose you. Like you say, I want
That's
other
true.
points of view.
You're right.
Are you not
I
having
agree.
a fair response time here, Rash? Like you
Pardon?
feel like you're getting a fair chance to respond here, right? No one's like,
yeah, that's a
not
good
letting you
point.
respond.
That's a good point. Like, I didn't have to even let you up. I obviously have nothing to hide here. Like, why would I let
Well,
you
we
up
want
if
to
I
hear
felt like I
as
was
well.
hiding something?
Because you're also very confident. Although you're delusionally
Doesn't
confident,
matter.
because
You're
everything
confident
you said
too.
was
Come
a
back as
lie.
friends. Who cares?
So, look, I've given you my case, and I stand by it. But I will point out something that you said recently, because it might seem like I'm trying to change the topic. I don't ever do that. It's just hard for me to focus on multiple things at a time. But you said that, shit, I lost it already. What was
The
it? You
ADL?
said, no, not ADL. You said...
Yeah, you're a fake Zionist. If you're quoting the ADL, you're a fake Zionist, fake Palestinian.
Thank you for saying that. You're proving my point for me.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if you don't know that the ADL is pro-Zionist, then it's just...
Look, Rash, this should not take... It's not hard to comprehend. Even if the ADL is pro-Zionist, it does not make their information inaccurate. You're being emotional. Like, you hate...
Their information has been inaccurate throughout their history. Go and look it up.
Can you prove it? Can you prove that the specific information that I provided was inaccurate? Because you can't. I'll promise you can't.
I don't even remember their specific information. If you're not allowed to remember things, then I'm not allowed. I'm allowed to not remember things as well.
Yes, it's
all
fine.
fair.
You're allowed to make videos as well, Rash. You could
sure,
do that.
you can.
I don't make videos because people come and my kids are on the same thing that I put videos on, and I had to stop doing that because
make another channel. Make another channel. It's simple.
So
just for this fun. Just for this is fun.
What Austin said is a good point. Where is facts that atheists commit more genocides? And this is a point I made then as well, and I'll say it again. It's inaccurate, and it's proposed. It's framed in an intellectually dishonest way, because they're separating different types of religion and counting those as separate entities, and then going atheism. The accurate way to do it would be theism versus atheism. And if you do that, then religious people committed far more murders and genocide.
That's
far
wrong.
more.
That's wrong. Because all the philosophies of the different religions are different philosophies, and atheism is a different philosophy. It's just one among
not
many.
a philosophy. That's the problem that I keep trying to get you to understand, and you can't.
I know you keep saying it's not a belief system, and yet I've seen you all circle jerk around the same points. If you all believe exactly the same thing.
An atheist,
but look, but Rash,
for an atheism belief.
This is the problem. You're making it as if it's subjective. It's not. It's factually, objectively, not anything more than believing that the lack of belief that there's a deity or deities. That's it. You're adding more to it.
No, I'm looking at it from an atheist point of view. All the religions can't be real, because there's no such thing as God. They're all different philosophies. Right. So this philosophy called Islam, this philosophy called Judaism, this philosophy called Hinduism, and this philosophy called atheism.
The point is, you don't get to separate them, because the entire purpose of your argument is to claim that atheists have killed more people. That is factually incorrect.
That is factually incorrect. Christians have killed more people than atheists.
I know.
Atheism is number 2.
No, it's not.
The different religions. It is. It's number 2.
Well, yes, if you're going to break it down, but my entire point is it's dishonest to do that in the first place, because the entire purpose is to go that atheists are worse than religious people. That's the entire point here. And
don't you think it's dishonest to say that atheists are more moral when they commit so many genocides?
But they don't commit more genocides
they
than
do.
religious people, which makes me correct.
Oh, because you want it to be as a whole.
It's
all
not
the
about what
religious
I want.
people on one
It has
side
nothing.
and all the atheist people on one side. That even
No,
then,
no, no, no,
think
no.
about it. There's not that many atheist people. There's tons of religious people. So you, by percentage, are still the worst.
But I've already accounted. Do you think that philosophers are idiots? They've already done that. They base it on percentage. They don't just go total number. No one's that stupid, Rash.
Hey, I looked at the study. I'm sorry, the study says you're wrong.
No.
That's how studies work, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'll
hold
pull.
on.
So when
I will.
atheists have a
Which
study that
study,
says
dude?
that
We
atheists
need
are
a
more
better
moral,
thing than a study.
you got to remember also the Jews, actually not the Jews specifically,
I'll
but
believe
the
you,
Zionist
Rash. I need a better
and said
source.
that Jews were more moral, Jews were more
They
intelligent,
definitely
and
are.
you as an atheist
Absolutely.
are doing the exact same thing.
Look, I
Guess
don't
who else
deny
did
it.
it? The
I don't deny
Nazis
that.
did it. The Nazis did it. The
You're
Nazis
right.
said they were more moral. The Nazis said that they were more superior intellectually and physically and God knows whatever else.
And the
You are
Nazis-
doing
Nazis.
exactly
cult.
like
And
Zionists
and hold
Nazi.
on. The
Okay,
Nazis
go.
were not they were not atheists. They were more religious than anything because Christianity
a
was
cult.
used in order to bring them together.
Yeah.
Oh
Hitler
my
was
God, you're
Catholic.
acting like a religious person?
No, I'm
Yeah.
thinking logically.
Even the Pope sided with
That's
Hitler.
my point. Jews, Nazis,
Hey,
religious,
Rash,
right?
what's with the tone, brother?
And they
You're-
said
why
the
are
Yeah, why
exact
you gotta
same
yell
thing.
at us?
screaming at us?
You're lumping them together because you're trying to build a narrative, but you're not doing so like intellectually honestly. It's you're
I
like
don't- I
desperately
can lump
trying to
any-
prove something.
Guess who else says they're more moral? Muslims. Muslims think they're more moral.
Yes,
Muslims
but look,
think they're
look.
superior.
You're trying
Everybody
to
thinks they're
no
superior.
look. You're trying to make it as if this is just my personal opinion. When I cite morality, I have measurable statistics that
study.
prove it.
Yes,
Yeah, I
you
don't
tried
agree
to
with
the
anything
study.
Mal did, and I'm an atheist.
I
So,
cited the study.
you're
No,
trying to
you
say-
didn't. You did not cite a study. You have
You just
Muslims
said a
claiming
study. You
that
just
they
said
are
a
more moral.
study. I
The study is
asked for the
called body
source.
count. It's done by a Harvard professor.
But you're
Hold on.
focused only on
Body
one
count
thing.
Done by a Harvard
Yeah,
professor.
yeah. It's
Did
on
you
one
hear
thing
what you
about
just said?
genocide.
Hold on.
And if
Body
you did
count
genocide,
done
I
by a
don't listen
Okay.
to you.
professor.
If
Okay,
you did,
hold on,
fucking
hold on.
said.
Guys, look, we're all, even me, we're running out of time. Odd, you were kind of getting talked over, so I want you to make your point and then we'll move on from there, but let's try not to talk over each other.
Do you really think that this is a freaking source of any repute, Rash? This is what you just said. Body count
From
by
Harvard.
a... Sorry?
From Harvard. Okay,
Oh.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm quoting a Western
No, I
institution.
would like a name. No, I would like the
It's
name of the
The study
study.
is called body count. The study is called body count. Go and look it up.
I don't think I'd get far. I think
If-
I'd get LA gangs and shit like that.
If
I
I'm not mistaken, you may have
more.
linked it in Discord. If you did, then
I
we can
didn't.
just find it that way.
Yeah, well, I'm
Yes, I
still
did.
waiting on that prophecy that worked.
Yes, your prophecy that you didn't even look at and then made a big deal about. You started that one, Oddie. Made some
Rash,
stupid claim
You had to
and then wouldn't
contact me
even
on
look at
my
the
fucking
evidence.
channel. No, you haven't
So
sent
shut
me
up.
any. You haven't sent
No,
me
it
any.
was all there. You admitted
Bleeding
on one of the
cause
other
of
streams that
death.
you never even bothered to look at it. While claiming that I
asked
never
for it again
looked
the
at any of
last
your
time you
videos.
were here
Right.
on
All
the
right.
channel, Rash.
All right, guys,
You're
guys,
full of shit.
please
why I
calm
don't-
down. Calm down. Gadwin, you had something to say?
Well, the leading cause of death through statistics is disease, not religion or an ideology. Disease, particularly tuberculosis, in which it estimated to have killed over 1 billion people.
That is true, but so that's kind of different than what he's talking about because he's trying to draw to morality, which obviously genociding people directly links work with morality. Not only that, but you could make the argument that that's the most extreme form of immorality.
Well,
I understand why
nationalism.
he's doing it, but I disagree with it because when you compartmentalize religions, it's completely throwing off the actual data, which is even by
And
That atheists
percentage.
do it a lot.
What?
That atheists do it a lot. Genocide.
I don't deny
No.
that. I've never denied that, but I will say that it's not even close to as much as religious people, even by percentage.
It's nationalism
No.
mostly. If you look at all the
No.
groups that do the genocide, like Israel, their massive genocide, it's about Israel. It's a nationalist ideology. Hitler, he did it with nationalism, saying his nation was better than every other one, so we should kill all the other impure people off. I mean, this goes back through history. That every culture who thinks they're the superior one, it's nationalism that kills off a large group of the people.
Yeah, it's funny that Zionism starts out as an atheist ideology and continues on, but using religion to help them.
Zionism
usually
is
how it-
Judaism.
It
Hey,
is
Rash, are you coming
Judaism.
back next week, brother, because I may have to jump off any minute now, and I hope you do come back, mate.
We've all got to shut down here in just like 2 minutes. I'm already an hour over.
Oh, okay.
Oddy,
Oh,
don't call me a
Yeah,
brother
there's
when
no-
you call
there's
me
no-
a father. We are not brothers anymore.
I didn't hear that crap. What did he just say?
Yeah, I think you said, "Don't call me brother if you're calling me a Zionist." We're not brothers.
liar.
I
anymore.
don't know what is
Hey,
Oh,
Zion.
liar!
I haven't
He's
called him
called me a
a
liar
lie. When did I
plenty
do
of
that
times.
today?
I used to be friends with Oddy. I used to defend him
Hey,
all
you
the
know-
time in
You
his
used
space
to
chat.
tell me you're an atheist.
So
for a
why?
bit,
Why?
and
So
now
hold
you
on. I want to.
I have never said I'm an atheist. You fucking liar. Come on.
No,
Hold on. I want to understand one thing because it's not just me. It's odd as well. Like this is the root of a lot of our problems. Why is someone not believing you a deal breaker? That you can't control whether someone believes you or not.
It matters because it started out with another lie from another friend. The Scottish guy, I can't remember the fat one.
Okay.
He started saying that because I went after Gads's girlfriend because she was helping the guy who called me a pedophile. Then when I call him a pedophile back, and when I argue against the Italian lady, then the Scottish guy started calling me a liar.
Okay.
And it started from that. And
this
Oddy,
one's-
once we stopped getting on, he just flat out started calling me a liar. But you can see now that Oddy is the liar because when have I ever said I'm an
When did I
atheist?
call you a liar?
Well, I don't
Oh,
know.
you said you were once an atheist to me at the start when you were oil rigging or
When?
whatever it was, engineering there. So
Do I sound like some?
so-
Considering everything I say, when would I ever say that I'm an
you're
atheist? Come
saying
on,
it to kindle some mateship.
Kindle. I've never been on Kindle.
No one said
What?
that.
You're a liar, Oddy.
No one lied there.
You're a liar. Just deal with
No.
it. You're a liar.
How?
Someone said recently to turn Rash's volume down. I'm not going to do that. I don't do that unless it becomes a
it's only
massive thing.
If you
It's
have
only
to
just
do it,
a
do it.
light
I can't
version,
control
dude.
the volume.
I think it's fine.
No. You're fine. We can hear you. You're not crackling too much.
Yeah, it
You're
must be a
yelling
good
Come
a lot,
back.
though.
Come back
Yeah,
is all I was saying.
He
Rash.
was yelling. He was yelling, but still, like, it wasn't a long-term issue. And once, like, we started breaking it down a little bit, he started letting people talk. That's all that matters.
I
People
think
are
he just
human.
wants his nipples twisted.
Well, you guys have been talking for about an hour and a half or maybe 2 hours, so I get to say something sometimes.
That's fair.
3.5.
Why
should've
don't you
come
tell
on
us about your
earlier.
concrete mixer?
And the
My
fish.
concrete mixer, it's
Odd
being
was
fine.
going even before I started. He was already on a different stream. He's been going forever.
Well,
He's
Got
rimming.
one day for it.
he got that brain
You're
injury
edging.
from the jackhammer, if I recall.
You know, that's healed. You know, I think brains are dynamic and fluidic.
Yeah, well, you would think it healed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got
Passive
better after.
aggressive ad
You've lost some
hominem.
memory, dude.
Right at the
You've
very
lost some
end.
of your memory.
Thanks,
That's
Rash.
why you think
I've
that
been
I
here
said I'm
being
an atheist.
nothing but nice to you.
What? What? You've been nothing but nice to me. What, in the last 5 minutes? Yeah, maybe.
He hasn't lost any of his sarcasm.
Fucking retard.
What?
I called Oddy a fucking retard.
Guys, like that, I can't like let people slide. That's one of the rules. You can talk shit to me all day long, but please do not give ad hominems or insults or personal attacks
Okay.
on other panel members.
Calling me a liar is an ad hominem and an insult because
No, it's not.
I
And hold on.
Yeah, I never lie.
I've got to correct you. I've got to correct you. So even from your perspective, me believing, not calling you a liar because that's not what happened. Me believing that you weren't telling the truth, it's nothing. It's like you can't control that.
Yeah. If I believe he's a retard, I just believe he's a retard.
That's fair, but
your argument.
Yes, but I didn't go like, Rash, you're a fucking lying piece of shit. Like right here, I don't. That's not analogous because you are yelling out.
Audie is married, is he? Is he not? So he fucks. He's a fucking.
But the point, Jesus Christ, you understand what I'm saying? I know you do.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Link up. How does being married and being a retard link up?
You're fucking.
Fucking retard.
Maybe.
Therefore, you fuck because you're married.
It's the end of the stream, so fuck it.
I'm not married, hey.
Do you not fuck?
I like the person I've been with for a long time, but I'm not married. And it's none of your business.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You have to go.
Rash,
sorry,
See you later, guys. Thank you very much.
Did
you don't fuck? I will never call you a fucking retard again. I'll just call you a retard.
Come back, Rash. We have a debate to do.
Rash, did you get a new microphone?
Nope, same phone, same everything. Must be good Wi-Fi.
For some reason, it's like perfect today. There's like no issue whatsoever.
Well, I did see Malaysia's teaming up with China now. They're coming buddy.
Really?
So maybe you got better internet from China.
Maybe.
Quite possibly.
China has like it's living in the future compared to America. Like they've gone cashless, robots. I've seen this video of this truck. As an SUV sitting in traffic, the freaking roof opened up. A drone flew up, and then it could survey the traffic, and then it lands back on the roof, and then goes back down inside the vehicle.
It's been like this for a while too, and there's so many Americans that have been living in this like America's perfect bullshit fantasy for so long they don't even know. Like we have been surpassed for a little while now. It's not even brand new. We're headed down. There's no way around it. I don't see a way around it. Yeah, for sure.
I did put a video in the thing about the similarities of the collapse of the Roman Empire and the similarities of the collapse of the American Empire. Like
I've seen things on that, and it's very true.
It's very similar going on.
It is, and a lot of it's for similar reasons, and a lot of it's fucking just overstretching, greed.
Yeah, the basing of the currency was a big one. Basically, making money worthless. When like Nixon took us off the gold standard, that was the 70s. Giving us a fiat currency. Rome did that where they started mixing in copper with their coins.
They wanted
I don't know if you. The EU is about to go totally cashless within the next year. No cash at all.
It saves billions of dollars because you're not printing any money, you're not using any resources. I mean, it's just
that goes back to what we were talking about too. There's people that want to conservatives the way of things, and it's outdated. I haven't carried cash in probably 10 years, like at
surveillance.
I just like to have some on me. I like to keep a little on me just in case you have to give somebody like $20 or something.
That makes sense. That's completely reasonable. But my point is that people on the opposite extreme are like, I won't put my money in a bank. I won't use a card for anything. Like, dude, you're going too far.
That's me.
I've never bought anything offline except for video games. Like I'll still go to a store.
So the question is, why is that? Are you afraid they're going to steal your money?
Well, the old lady, she used to use the card all the time, and our card would get hacked all the time. So there's a time when a guy went and bought a shitload of pizzas. There's another time when a guy bought Nike shoes with our card. Like she just got it hacked all the time. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm never using a card online. Other than to buy Steam.
That's fair, but that is extremely rare.
It happened a lot. Like when we were living over in Mifflinburg, it got hacked 3 times in like 4 months, 5 months.
What was it? What got hacked?
Her card. Not
so
mine, 'cause I
no.
don't use
So the
mine.
question is, I hate to say this, it was probably partially on her, meaning it
Yeah.
was where she chose to shop.
Yeah, exactly. She's buying. Well, before it used to be we had a joint account when we were married, so what was hers was mine. So anytime the
Mhm.
car got hacked, it was my money disappearing.
That makes sense, but the I hate to say it, but like I'm not gonna say it's all her fault, but like the chances go down drastically if you know not to like throw money at shady ass websites or some shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I get that. Like me, I'm very frugal too, but like Steam, I trust Steam.
yeah,
So I know
they're
Steam's
legit.
not gonna fuck me over. But I don't know about some of these other places.
That's fair. Well, what you can generally go by as a rule of thumb, the more people frequent that, the safer it is because they wouldn't fucking do so if it was like, they would be sued and shit too. If their
Yeah.
money was completely been taken, like
What-
no one would use it.
And I'm morally objective against Amazon. I can't stand Amazon, so I would not buy anything from them. Because fuck Amazon. I won't even buy Prime, and I want to watch Fallout.
That's fair. So part of me has been thinking about that, and it's a hard one for me because I have certain views that are like ideological morality type views, and part of me sees a lot of valid points on the camp that's anti-Amazon because Jeff Bezos is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he treats
But
his workers like shit too.
yes, and so I'm thinking about doing that, but fuck, it would suck, dude. Nothing can replace Amazon Prime, in my opinion, like compared to what it does.
If it
Yeah,
helps,
I won't give any money.
the piracy community is coming back in terms of TV shows and whatnot. For
The
a while,
piracy community.
these, yeah, basically it used to be Pirate Bay. You could get everything you wanted to pirate it, whatnot. They went down when
Oh.
all these Netflix and stuff came up, and now that Netflix and the Amazon and the Disney are all screwing people over, piracy is
Mhm.
coming back.
That's
Pirate Bay
true.
was actually taken down by a government agency, and then they found it where they couldn't actually go after them because of something. And then
Netherlands or Sweden, right?
it was one of
They
the
were
countries that they chased them around and found them, and then put them all in prison.
no, but one of the countries that does Pirate Bay, or the main country that does Pirate Bay, is Netherlands or Sweden or somewhere, and they don't have anti-piracy laws. So it was hard to track down the people because
Well,
this
they locked
country
them
was.
all up. I watched the documentary about how they found them, but then they couldn't actually, charge them. But they had them locked up for a while. It was like 5 members or something like that. Took their servers, everything.
Where in the country that protects them? Well,
Well, that's
doesn't
probably where
have an
they're at now.
anti-piracy law.
That's probably where they're at now, but they weren't there to begin with.
Well, this is
Yeah, I don't know.
America we're talking about. If there's money involved, they would simply pay off a congressman and they'd get the green light and they'd go attack that country or some shit because we're a bunch of evil motherfuckers. So you can't really be like, hey, we're a country that has
Yeah.
our own like shit and like leave us alone. We're going to protect them because America's they act like they own the world. They're going to do what the fuck they want until they're stopped.
Yeah, like the Hague Act.
Yep.
If any American or American ally gets charged in The Hague, then America reserves the right to militarily invade The Hague I can't remember where The Hague is.
Yes, and that is clearly fucking some bullshit power fucking dynamic imbalance shit, corrupt ass shit. And like, why the fuck does the international community put up with that shit? Honestly, I hate to say this because I'm an American. A long time ago, NATO, like every fucking country on the planet should have said, fuck you, United States. We are cutting you off instead of the opposite. Because it's never going to change as long as fucking all the other countries are just being complicit with it.
Well, until AI can track everything and basically go into your system, delete everything. I mean, AI is going to be a force to be reckoned with here very shortly.
Yep, it is.
And I put the information about their arrests in the chat there. I don't know if you saw it, but all 3 members were arrested in different countries. It has Sweden, Thailand, and Cambodia. They're all arrested. They tried to run.
They have been getting really hardcore, and I've noticed. I haven't looked in a little while, but I've been busy. But the last time I checked one of those special sites, it wasn't just one. You know how they normally have a system to where, like, if a video's not up, it'll go server 2, server 3, server 4. They have backups. When I would look for certain things, and this has never happened before, every single one of them were down. So something's going on. Maybe the government has found a way to tackle them or something. Like,
Yep.
Something's happening because they're getting shut down like never before. And maybe they're going to succeed and make it where we can't deal with it. We can't go to them anymore.
We're going to have an oligarchy system where it's just going to be like, kind of like aliens, like how there's only like 3 or 4 corporations that basically run the whole world and they have pull on everything.
I agree with that. Robert McNamara said the U.S. would have convicted of war crimes if World War II had been lost. You're absolutely right.
Unless you've got one of those VPNs, and I'm not sure even then, any country can shut down any part of the internet they want, and you can't get into it. Malaysia's done it. We're not even that well, actually, no, we're kind of technological, but
they did all that cables. There's like every place where the C cables for the internet come in, the government usually has a building there that controls all the flow of the internet in and out, and they can just shut that breaker off at any time. America has one at every cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to think until recently that EMPs was sci-fi, but apparently they're real.
Oh,
I thought that it wasn't a thing.
Yeah, you can do an electromagnetic pulse, and it can wipe out all. Now, military things are usually hardened against all that stuff. Like they have shielding in their vehicles and everything to protect against that. But your consumer electronics don't.
It's crazy. Like I've never even considered that.
There's a thing called the Carrington event. It happened in the 1800s. It was a solar flare that basically amplified all the electrical lines. People could hear all kinds of shit through their phones. Like it was crazy. Took down all the lines.
It was so powerful that it burnt out even, those Morse code ... dash transmitters that they had, using thick copper wire, it still burnt those things out. That's how powerful that event was.
It was
crazy.
Bright as day at 3 in the morning. Like it was like noon at 3 in the morning. Like the guy woke up thinking it was like he slept in. He's like, wow, it's so bright out. He goes outside and here it was only 3 in the morning, but the Carrington event was so bright. Like,
so do we have I don't know the limits of this. So again, I'm new to this. I thought it was sci-fi. Like, do we have the capacity to do large scale EMP type shit like countries or states? Like
a nuclear warhead probably could do it. You detonate it in the air.
Interesting.
Yeah, what you want is an old car like a Mini, and just as long as everything's turned off, and better just pull out the battery as well if you know it's coming, you're probably okay. If you have a modern car, forget it. Your car's fried. You'll never drive it again.
Yeah,
that means 95% of everyone's fucked.
Yeah.
Except me.
Even tractors and stuff like that too, because they're all computer driven now and everything.
So how the fuck do you I guess if it's like a nuke or something, we have like countermeasures against that. But if it's up in the atmosphere, there's a chance we'll take it out and do its job for it, wouldn't it? Like if it's within our airspace whenever we shoot it down?
Oh, no, it won't detonate from that.
Oh, really?
You can shoot it down.
If you shoot them down.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought that if you shot it, it would explode and the nuke would detonate.
Which, did you see about Russia's testing new nuclear delivery devices, and now Trump wants to do the same thing?
Dude, Trump, this is why, and I've been a little stressed lately with all sort of shit going on. I have to shut down. I cannot fucking keep up with Trump because every fucking day he does something that was stupider than the last time he did something stupid. And it drives me fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck, man? I can't, I just can't deal. Like, and the thing is that drives me crazy is like my family are right wingers and they go, this isn't bad. Like we made it through Biden. And I'm like, what did Biden do that's even anywhere fucking close to being comparable to the shit he's doing every day?
Oh, like he's trying to say that prices are lower now than under Biden and everything.
Yeah,
like
he just lies and people believes it. Like how the fuck?
There's a saying I like, how many Republicans or how many MAGA does it take to change a light bulb? None. Trump just says he did it, and they all start clapping.
That is good. I like it. I'm remembering that one. That's good shit. Anyhow, guys, I'm passed when I passed, and then still kept passing. So I will be back. Go ahead.
Gads, I don't know how to get back to the Discord on the thing. It's like I wanted to leave so bad because fucking betrayal, etc. But
Hang on, let me see if I can.
if you can find a way to get me back, that'll be great. I'll talk with you. I don't know
if you guys are friends on Discord, that's fine. But either way,
he unfriended me, you little fucker. I don't have your message anymore.
I understand, you're looking after the chief of lies over there. So yeah,
I just didn't respond right away because I was in a video game. I was like hardcore video gaming at a time. So if I go dark for a while, it's usually because I'm playing a video game.
That's usually the same for me. If it's not a video game, I'm like binge watching fucking Fallout or some shit. I'm addicted to something.
But yeah,
I'm Project Zomboid.
I've been playing Forever Winter. But if you still have our chat log, I don't have it on the side. Send me a friend request, and then I can send you a friend request back into the.
I'll go and have a look. All right, thanks a lot.
Trobs, you have.
All right. I will be back next week as usual. If you're around, I'll see you then. But just like it was supposed to be this week, I was supposed to take my kids out for firearm safety stuff. That's going to be next Friday instead, which means it may make me late. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one.
Hey, Trobs, put the Discord in the video then, so that way other people can join.
That's a good idea. You got me right before I clicked it. Hold on a second. I'm special needs when I'm doing two things. Like really bad.
Trying to search your fapping material and fap at the same time. You got
pause. It's sad because one of those things is literally just talking. Like it should, a normal person, they would have no problem. But I can't talk and do something. Like my brain fries. I can't do it. Hold on. Invite people. Copy. And I'm pretty sure I set it to where these are permanent invites, so it should always stay that way. That should have went through, and because it's my channel, it should be a link. Let me know if it didn't work or there's a problem.
Woohoo!
All right, guys. I will see you next week. Take it easy.
Have a good one.
Liar.